What the fucking OBS, man? Okay, am I live on YouTube too? Okay, apparently we're still live, so we're okay. It just didn't ask me for... Okay, that's weird. I have to edit each one of these separately. So 1, 3, 7. Decurst, if you want to take a quick peek into the Discord for the podcast notes, we're going to be discussing the new gear rebalances and whatnot, and then one of our most getting feedback from you. Okay. And then we're going to be What's going on, chat? I hope you guys are ready. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We're gonna talk about the new Plat Arena Reset Reworks. We're going to talk about the Flexion set and the Swift Parry set being reworked. 50% ignored defense, I think, is massive. And then we got a little bit of a treat. We're going to talk a little bit about our most underrated epics in each faction, because we don't give epics enough, and I feel like we should. So gear up, get your popcorn ready, get your cup of tea, coffee, or whatever floats your boat, and get ready.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Man, we've got a lot of things this week that have been going on. We got a particular content creator here who has some amazing luck, and we're not talking about Zero Brew. We got we got another content creator here that maybe should pay a little more attention, and we're not talking about Gestal pulling his Solinar. And then we got to talk about some epics, man, because I think it's about time we give epics their due right, especially because I've been doing this whole thing of trying to beat Grim Forest with just epics. And, you know, I was a little concerned about it. I'm not going to lie, but I'm sitting at 125 stages out of 135. So I think I'm doing pretty good on this. So that said, before we get too far into everything, let me introduce my co-host for today's podcast. In the top little red box, filling in for our favorite free-to-play content creator, Mr. FinalKenpachi, it is the Curse One. The Curse, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Oh, another day, another day. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Nights.
It's been a while you haven't came on, so we're glad that you have you on, and thank you for filling in for Ken, who is a little bit tired from running too much, apparently. You know, I think PJ said it the best. He doesn't have to do much. He has to sit down and do nothing while we're talking. So that said, moving on to our next content creator who has some amazing luck. And it's not from pulling shards, it's from getting things fixed. Mrs. Zero Brew Zero, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Oh, hi. Yeah, Zero Souls. King Copium tagged something in the chat. If people know, you know.
Hey, calm down, Zero Boozer. We'll get to you in a second, dude.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
So let's get this out of the way real quick. I have a particular clip here that we're going to play because it definitely deserves to be played. And Zero is going to fill us in on what exactly happened here. Because a lot of us are a little confused. No, we don't want to hear you. We want to see the stream. Oh, come on.
This is an ad?
Yeah, it's an ad when I'm watching your highlight.
That's crazy, dude.
There we go. Yeah, but what
It sounds like it's all for Twitch.
I guess Twitch knows that this is going to be really hyped up. So, all right, while this ad is playing, let me introduce my next podcast co-host.
Blazing can drop thousands on raid, but he can't get Twitch Turbo, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I have priorities and what I spend on, and you know that Twitch Turbo could be my Galathier. It could be my Siegfried. Okay, so yes. All right, so it looks like we got this going. Let's go ahead where I think he does it right.
That's when I realized.
Right about here is where we realize that you sold all your souls.
19 minutes and 40 seconds, dude. I know it.
Look at his face. The face. Like, they should, cut and copy that face as, one of his next emotes.
And then right about here is where he realizes he messed up pretty hard.
Yeah, I looked at the number and it says 22 of 300.
Yeah, bro, I saw it. I saw the light go off. Oh no.
My man's
You can see
face
it on
right
my
now.
face. And apparently I home alone.
Turbo
with the
sell them
look on the
souls,
face.
bro. Ooh.
So, with that said,
Oh man.
So
us what
what
happened there.
happened was, if you go back, you don't have to, but like in the earlier part, I was scrolling through and I was selecting souls because I had to clean up because I had a bunch more to pull, right? And then I was like, oh, I can make this easier on myself and use the filter. So what had happened was I had scrolled to the bottom of the screen and I immediately went and hit the blue filter, which should have been all my blue souls. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which should have been sell all my blue souls 1 through 5, essentially. But then because I was at the bottom and I filtered out, like it doesn't scroll you up to the top, right? So Playerm, if you're watching this, please, scroll to the top or something.
Not Plarium's fault, man. I'm sorry.
I know. I know, but what happened was then I unclicked the blue and then the low level blues popped up, right? And I was like, oh, well, that's what needed to happen. But like something in the back of my head was like, you screwed something up. But yeah, and then I just hit sell and sell all. And yeah, so basically I sold everything on the account except for anything that was a 6-star, basically.
okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to,
Got
but
it
do you
back
want to
up.
share with us what the result was when you opened a ticket?
Yeah, so so a couple things here. I know people have opened tickets in the past and they've not gotten any type of result. So I did get a one-time offer, and I had basically two choices. First of all, I want to also say if I was not recording, meaning I wasn't streaming, and I had the VOD to clip essentially and send in with the ticket, they probably would not have been as gracious as they would have for me, right? So I just want to get those caveats kind of out there, right? And yeah, basically my offer was they could rewind the clock, and I basically would lose 36 hours in the game, so they could go back to, because that happened on February 19th. I could go back to February 18th at 1 a.m. However, we've got the fusion going on, and basically everything I did for 36 hours would be erased. Although I guess the good news is I'd also gotten my souls and gotten to re-pull my souls because I didn't get anything in the first pulls. So that would have been a bonus. Or they offered, because it was so many, they offered all 18 of my mythicals back, and they offered me, there were only 7 5-star legendaries. So they offered me so 18 mythicals and 7 5-star legendaries, and that's the option I chose. Simply because, and I lost like a 4-star Yumeko and a 2-star Siffy, champions I don't have on my account, a 2-star Harima, a bunch of champions I had on my accounts, but I think that was the lesser of the two evils, because I would have lost some shards for the fusion or whatnot. So there you go.
Okay.
And that was a one-time offer. If this ever happens again, I have to pound sand. So,
All right.
and I think the other thing just to also note is I did not spend the coins. So I think as soon as I sold it and got like 20,000 coins or whatever, if I had immediately cashed those in and bought more soul stones with them, they would have told me no. So I think I caught it right when it happened. I had video evidence. I could submit with it, and I did not spend any of the currency that I gained. So, and just for Polarium's full protection, what they refunded me, so you could see what the sell price is for those. So, for example, 350 coins for the 5-star legendary. So the 7 of those I gave back, 350 times 7, they deducted those from my coins. So I didn't gain anything out of it. That was cool that they did that, though.
So the question now is going to be, what did we learn?
Scroll to the top of the screen when putting filters on the soul screen. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of to do there.
How does one send a video to Plarium? When you're in the Supreme Club, you get to do this cool thing and add attachments into your tickets, but you only get real customer support from Plarium when you spend thousands of dollars or you get lucky to get into their little MVP club that nobody pretends to know about.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut because, yeah.
I got opinions!
Speaking about a man who's got opinions, let's give the man with the sexiest red beard alive a big shout out. Mr. King Copium King, what's going on, bro? How are you?
What's up, boys? What's up, chat? I am here chilling, man. I'm just, I love Zero Brew. You know what I'm saying? It's always a good time when you catch a Zero Brew clip. And so I'm just glad to be here, razzing the boy a little bit and get into these awesome topics. Can't wait to talk about these epic champions. We've got a banger of a show in store for you guys today. I can feel it.
No, what's your opinion on the Zero Brew?
Oh, on the Zero Brew thing? Hashtag Zero Boozer, dude. That's my opinion.
Okay.
If you know, you know. And if you don't, come by the Copium Den, dude. I rant about Boozer on a daily basis. Like, it's a problem. It's a real problem.
Okay. Next up, the guy who says, hey, you know that nor'easter you guys are getting up in New England? That has nothing to do with me. I don't give a shit. I've got a nice 70, 80-degree weather over here. Mr. Gestal Gaming. Gestal, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I do have a sweatshirt on today. It's a bit chilly out, so I don't know. Maybe
How is it?
A little chilly, bro. A little chilly.
He's like, it's a little chilly. It's only like 65. Get it right.
Yeah, about 65. Yeah, 60. Maybe down to 60. No, it was actually cold this week. It was down in the 40s and 50s. It's a little rare, but it's warmed up this weekend, which is nice. Regardless, Solinar on the account had a crazy pull session on Friday. Huge shout out to my man Handy. Handy Scorpion Fish is the freaking man. He helped me get Solinar basically, but I pulled a Con, then I pulled a Supreme Aethel, and then I had to go to Mercy and got the Solinar, man. We'll be building them today. Kind of held off. I've been thinking about it all weekend, but building them today. We'll be putting them to use. Excited to use them, man.
You go for the 5-star right away?
Well, I already had it. I mean, at that point, I had pulled so
nice.
much. I basically grabbed the whole tree.
Fair.
I gotta say, once I saw you pull that Solinar, I was like, son of a gun. I just spent a stupid amount of money trying to pull it, and I got myself my third ethos. I was so pissed. So pissed because I've gone after him for so hard. Although, who knows? Maybe we'll still get that guaranteed. But last but not least, my next door neighbor who's about to be snowed in just like I am over the next 24 hours, Mr. MXPJ. PJ, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Yeah, not looking forward to that. Should be fun. Gotta love a good snowstorm, good nor'eastern. But yeah, doing good. UFC. I know we're talking about Raid, but I had some UFC this weekend. Pretty good fights. Baseball's also back. Spring training started, so that's always exciting. And yeah, can't wait to talk about Raid with you guys. Should be a good podcast. And yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so let's start off with the kind of a roundup for the week of what's been going on. And first of all, I want to start with this Sweet Path Heart event where we put the souls both for Solinar and the Fusion. And we still have not gotten the guaranteed Solinar yet. I want to ask you guys, did you go for this event or not? And if you're still hopeful that maybe we'll get a guaranteed Solinar or not. Let's start off with King first.
I do not think we're going to get a guaranteed Solinar. He's a Void Lego champion that I personally believe is shifting the meta as we know it. I was watching actually Toxic Whale. He's in the chat right now. I was watching him fight a couple of Solinar teams. One of them was one of the Fusion, Noldua, and 3 Solinars on one team. Absolutely diabolical
That's
behavior,
that.
bro. And yeah, dude, he's a monster, dude, of a champion, and I just don't see Plarium caring about us enough to give us a champion like that for free currently.
Well, so again, here's the thing. I'm gonna move back a little bit to where the Taurus Marichka meta was around, and we had nothing to deal with it. And they did give us the guaranteed for the king. So, you know, with the arena meta shifting, I do feel like they want to try to maybe make it a little more, because only one player is going to be able to pick him during live arena, right? So I still think that there's going to be a guaranteed. I do think that this is a Plarium move, like, hey guys, we're going to give you the guaranteed, but we're going to try to suck out as much money as we possibly can before that guaranteed, right? Because they are pretty infamous for doing that. So my stance is I'm still hopeful that this is going to happen. But Zero, what do you got to say, man? You're muted. You're muted.
And Def.
Of course, I'm muted. Yeah. I'm hopeful there might be a guarantee, but I wouldn't be mad at it either, right? So, if they didn't, because it kind of goes back to the super OP champions. If everybody in the game gets it and they become the meta, it gets really tough, right? So I'm thinking,
Right.
you know, your Fabians, your Solinars and stuff. But in terms of this event, I will be pulling my shards later this evening. So I have yet to really move down the list. And I don't think I'm going to go for his soul. I think I'm just going to go grab her soul. And of course, the shards needed to pull her. So that's it.
Well, I guess the real big question is, are you going to go for the avatar, the frame?
Maybe it's
Because,
only an extra 5,000, right?
I
You
mean,
you love
look,
the
look,
avatar.
look at how sexy this looks, man. With the cardio, like, come on.
Already put
Dude,
it on.
it's such absolute bullshit to put a cosmetic that has no effect on gameplay at the end of these peril paths, dude.
I do agree with you 100%. I think it is absolute crap that they put it that far down.
Should be first.
You know, I get it. If you want to make it, you know, you want to milk it a little bit, because it is by far, and chat, maybe you guys can chime in on this. Is it by far one of the better looking avatar frames that we've gotten? Because I honestly really do like it. I want to say that's like my most favorite, but they probably
It's the best they've put out in a while for sure.
Yeah, they could have had us go down for the one key and then maybe put it like right here, so you have to unlock one of the keys or something, like. But putting it all the way down here is kind of like shitty. You have
Behind
to
the 50,000.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it's very, very hard to kind of be like, okay, yeah, because a lot of people just want to go for the cosmetics. That said, PJ, what about you? Are you going for this event? Do you still think that we're going to get a guaranteed Solinar or no?
Yeah, so for the event, I think depending on what you needed from the event, it was either a good event or a bad event. If you just needed the 15 fragments, I thought this was a really good event. It was pretty much 8.5 sacreds, and you could do DD with it. So 8.5 for 15 fragments is like a really good deal. But if you needed the 25, that's where it gets kind of rough. I think it was like 17 sacreds for the 25. So that's kind of like that, because you had to go all the way down the middle, which was like a lot of extra bullshit. So if you need the 15, it was good. If you need the 25, I think it was kind of rough. And then yeah, so I really liked the frame. I thought the frame looked really, really good. So I'm going for the frame. The question is, I didn't know, like, I don't know which one what soul I want to go for. It's like, obviously the fusion, I have the fusion. She's decent. I'll use her in Faction Wars. She would like the soul. I don't have to get the soul on her. Solinar, I don't have him. If I get the soul, I could just never get him and just be sitting on my account. Or if I ever do get him, if there's a guarantee, that'd be like a huge boost. So I don't know. I'm still conflicted on which soul to get. Maybe you guys could help me or convince me or something. But
I feel like her kit doesn't really need. I mean, the soul benefits, but with him, the soul is necessary. So
yeah,
it is hard though, not having the champ though.
I'm gonna say that even without his soul, like, I went against him on like a live arena fight, and it felt like I didn't even take a damn turn. It was pretty harsh against me. And I mean, I was going out with like a full mythical team, like, you know, being over cocky, and this guy was just absolutely crazy.
Like,
Blazing being cocky. Who would have thought that?
Yeah, I know, right?
So that's kind of like I don't know, I'm still debating on which soul I want. And then you said what? Do I think there's gonna be a guaranteed form?
Do you still think there might be a guaranteed for him?
The only way I could see them doing a guaranteed would be a champion training or champion chase, win first prize. I don't see them doing it set for everybody.
Okay. Gestal, what about yourself? I guess you did go for the event because you pulled for the guaranteed Solinar. But do you think we're gonna get a guaranteed Solinar still?
yeah, I was gonna say what PJ said. I think if they're gonna do a guaranteed, it would be kind of like champ training or some nonsense, champ chase. I'd see that only being the way. I don't know. I'm kind of with Zero as well. Like I mean, granted I have them right, but I'm kind of in. I don't know. I'm in the camp like it's like you compared him to Narcissus, but like remember when Marichka and Tars came out? Like they gave out Marichka and or who'd they give out? Tars? Did they give out either of them?
No, they didn't give out either one of them. They just had multiple 10Xs.
Yeah, they were like absolutely impossible to get. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like a year later, Narcissus came out, so they were like the meta forever.
Right.
So yeah, but they weren't guaranteed, so I guess it doesn't correlate. But the I don't know, like I don't know, I don't think they'll do it because I think he's turning out to be so good and everyone wants him. I don't know if they can shift on the fly like that, or if something's set in stone and they're gonna do the event one way or another. I don't know how that rolls with them, but
Okay.
so I don't think they will. I'm going with PJ. I'm going with
Okay.
PJ and Zero Stood.
All right.
Actually, dude, Modern Thinker made a pretty good point in chat saying there's 2 voids that came in under the Assassin's Creed collab. So if there's a guarantee for a void, they would probably either do Bayek or Pontiff before they did Solinar, which I actually
Bayek so
kinda-
bad.
So
yeah, 100%.
I agree that they're gonna do guaranteed for both of those guys. But a couple of
How many
things
guaranteed
that-
champs
I
do
don't
you
know
think
about Pontiff.
Plarium's going to do?
Well, here's the thing. As we see right now on screen, we've got about 6 weeks left of the Assassin's Creed collab. Plarium's got to come off with a very hot first quarter for investors. They got to show that they're making really good money. They got to make sure that these collabs are showing that they're profitable, right? That way they can go back to the next collab and say, hey, look, this is the percentage we got from the TMNT event. This is what we got from Assassin's Creed. We want to bring this collab into Raid Shadow Legends. This is what you can expect, right? It's all about the analytics. It's all about what they can show for new perspective collaborations that they can bring into Raid. So I do feel that trying to shove as many possible events and guarantees are going to be to their favor for this, because they want to show they're going to make more money. They want, they want to bring in other collabs. And if you're an investor, or if you're a, company saying, well, do I really want my brand kind of being with Raid Shadow Legends that we know is a very predatory game and stuff like that? When it comes down to the bottom line, it's all about money. How much money am I going to make out of this? I still feel like there's some sort of, I guess, I not hope, but reason for them to do the guaranteed.
That's copium. If Plarium wanted to make money,
the same thing.
like if Plarium wanted to make money to show their numbers, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in December there was a little bit of an oopsie with primal shards that came out for $2.50 a piece. And it was a very limited time pack that was out. Some people were fortunate enough to get it. Other people's weren't. But if they would just drop that pack, they would make all the money they needed, period.
That's true. That's true. But the thing with that is going to be, what shard does Solinar come out of?
Yeah, but I mean, if I had to pick between Solinar or a mythical, Solinar can
I
kick
get
rocks.
that. Well, I get that. Really? I don't know about that, but while I totally understand that, you got Beck and Pinthroy or Pintup that are coming out of voids. So the numbers that they got to show is out of voids is what I think. That said, maybe chat has different opinions. A lot of people still reading through chat are saying that maybe we're not going to get him. They kind of are leaning more to that side. But the curse, what do you have to say, man?
I don't think we're getting him. I think if they did it, it's going to be a champ chase, and it's going to, it's going to only be one person's going to get it out of however many different server, they have. That's about it.
Okay.
I do not think that we're going to get him. I think he is so broken that they're only going to let a few people have him. So, he stays that way, and then it's going to be next to impossible to ever pull him.
That's true. I mean, the way that they introduce power creep is they got to introduce the problem, and then they got to sell you the solution afterwards. And it's easier to sell the solution to everybody than to sell the problem to everybody. So that is a fair point. That is a valid argument right there. But are you going for this event?
I went for the 25 fragments, and then I stopped after that. And yeah, that was a rough do going for the 25 fragments. I kind of wish I would have did the champ training that I skipped over now.
Okay. How you doing there, Microbrew?
Oh, you guys say hi.
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 Hello.
She needed to give me a hug.
All right. So overall, I mean, the Sweetheart Path event is very, very expensive, I will say. I'm not a big fan of doing the avatar frame at the end. I do think that's way, way, way scummy. And I did mention this in content creator chat. Although, the end result of what it looked like was still worth it for me. I am a sucker for avatars and frames. So I can't complain about that. But overall, I think that event, it's just very disheartening to see putting the soul out for a champion that we don't have, right? Let me give a couple of quick shout outs here. We got Toxic Whale, who just subscribed over to Twitch. Thank you very much, brother. And Aqua Power Van, thank you very much for the Prime sub on Twitch. Guys, you are both legends. Thank you so much. All right, moving on to the next event that I want to talk about is we got a champ training for a 5-star soul for our boy Bissum over here. And I don't know. I mean, do we put the resources in? Because honestly, he's a pretty decent champ, but is he going to be somebody you want to build on your account? Chat, how many of you guys actually got Bissum this last week? And are you going for the soul? Let's start off with King Copium first. King, are you going for this event?
Ooh, dude. Honestly, man, Basim was not on my radar. Don't really care for him. I have not been that impressed with any of the Assassin's Creed champions. I didn't go for any of them. I just didn't give a shit. So I'm going to pass on this event.
Okay. Zero Brew, what about you?
Well, I woke up and someone's already at 13,000 points today. So I'm probably out. I did get Basim. I haven't pulled him yet, obviously. Gonna probably say that for a future champ chase event. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, I'm kind of with Copium. I'm not very impressed with a lot of the, and again, and I know we said this last time, but like coming off the back of the Turtle collab and how absolutely good they are together, like I'm just not as impressed with the Assassin's Creed. So I have him, and he is a damage dealer, right? So getting a minimum 4-star for him is going to be amazing. But yeah, I'm not looking to burn all my resources for a shot of getting swept at the end.
Too busy selling them.
Yeah, right.
Really too busy selling them. Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
Chad. I think this is a little bit better. My microphone was facing the wrong way. Sorry about that. Okay, so PJ, what about you? Are you going to be going for this event?
I actually picked up the one-star Basim in the Soul Shop the other day because I did go for him. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of champion training recently because they've been doing pretty good rewards into them. So I'm kind of burnt out and would like to skip. But if it's gonna be like an easy bracket, I wouldn't mind a 5-star soul for him. But it's really gonna be on the bracket. Like, if I could get on the really low, but I would be more than happy if someone just did a bunch of points and I'm like, you got it, and I can completely skip this because I've been doing a lot of champ training.
PJ's like, listen, if you're gonna wail out and get it done, just get it done earlier so I can get my mind
Exactly.
off of it and not have to
Yes,
worry about it. Like,
exactly.
come on.
Yes, I don't want to be close and be like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Just take it early.
Fair point. Fair point. I mean, honestly, what I did here is I used some books because there were champions I needed to book for, my teams and stuff that I was doing for the Epic Challenge. And I was like, yep, nope. I waited till today, so I just used a whole bunch of Epic books, and I was good to go. Gestal, what about you? Will you be going for Basim as well too? The Soul?
Yeah, so I went for Basim because I have like 6 Abesses, and I was like, well, we could +4 him at least if he turns out to be real strong. Now there's a 5-star available. I just checked, and someone's already at 15K in my group, so I'll keep an eye on it. If he just sticks there and no one bothers him, maybe I'll have to pull out the old sniper rifle and take a shot at it, because I have infinite resources saved up for champ training, and I probably could win it pretty easily.
He's still shooting and he's still getting headshots. Boom, headshot, son.
So I will say, but I don't know if there's if like 2 or 3 guys get into it and the numbers start getting crazy, I'm not going to bother.
Okay. I'm looking over chat here. Some people are like, nope, not interested. Darn says not really looking for him. But what about the rest of you guys? Did any of you guys go for Basim during the deck event? Or did you just kind of skip him and said, nope, see you next time, if there is one? DeCurst, are you going to go for this event? What are you thinking?
I mean, I went for Basim because I had just pulled Marius, so I was chasing after the Marius soul, so I ended up getting him anyway. No, I am not doing the champ training for, for the souls. I'm with everybody else. I feel that the entire Assassin's Creed, all of them, and I have 4 of the 5 are all letdowns. Like, you just came out with 2 champions, the Nodua or whatever, however you say your name, and Solinar.
Wait,
They are.
Did you just say you have 4 out of the 5?
Yeah.
What kind of freaking luck is that, man?
And
dude, this guy fused his Titus and got a 6-star for him on the same day.
What the hell?
No, I had the Titus 6-star soul a week before I got Titus.
Oh, my fault. Sorry. Please correct me. Oh God.
No, I feel like, especially with Noel Dua, or whatever her name is, however you say it.
The fusion,
I feel like, I feel the current fusion of Solinar, like, these 2 champions are just straight OP. They're amazing. Like, they are going to cause some havoc. And then the one that's supposed to be the big event collab is just like a letdown. Like, there's just nothing there to be excited about.
I mean, it's a bit of a hot take on my end, but I think Plarium just kind of needs to stick to their roots of making their own champions. I love the aesthetics that they make for their own champs. I love the kits they put together for their own champions instead of trying to fit these themes. I think the turtles were the exception to the rule. I mean, the turtles are just badass. That was pure nostalgia. But their kits are honestly what makes them shine through the hardest. And with the collabs, Predator, Alien, and all that stuff, it's kind of just, to me, it's kind of getting a little bit gimmicky, even though they're still cool and I'm still a fan of them and I'm glad I have them. When I see like, I always want to say Pinthroid, but that's Archbishop Pinthroid. Who's the
Pentoth?
Yeah. What, like the guy they made for, I have to get it now.
Yeah. Augustine.
Yeah, Pontiff Augustine, dude. Like, that guy looks fucking sick. His kit looks incredible, and he's got absolutely nothing to do with Assassin's Creed. So, like, they just need to keep making their own champions. They do it really well.
Agreed. So yeah, I mean, for this, I guess it's gonna have to be, how many of us actually went for the Basim deck event? I mean, I did. I got him. He's going to sit in there more because it's the gotta chase them all type of thing. As for, do I go for the soul? If this guy sticks at 10K, I think I might take a page out of Gestal's book and say, yeah, you know what? Might as well snipe it for the 75 crystals, celestial crystals, and the 6-star legendary relentless.
Need that relentless.
Got to get that relentless, man. I will say,
I need it.
with this whole epic challenge that I've been doing for Grim Forest, 40 epics out of the 40 epics, I want to say at least 20 of them are in Relentless because of how good it is for this content. That said, though, I want to ask one last question before we get into the main part of today's podcast, and it is Predator. I think this guy is going to be an absolute menace, and mostly because the passive on him is super strong, right? At the start of each round, places a perfect veil buff on the champion for 1 turn. Before the champion takes a turn, also has an initial 50% chance to evade an enemy skill and accompanying effects. The initial target reduces to 0 after this champion's first turn in each round. Whenever this champion kills an enemy, grants this champion 20% chance to evade and all accompanying effects up to 60%, which is absolutely insane because you get to do some things here where you're going in and you're soloing teams. I want to hear from you guys. What, if any, of...
Sorry.
No worries. What, if any, advice do you have for people that are going to be, because this event's got 1 day left, and if someone is thinking about buying this, should they do it or not?
Yes.
Gestal, let's start off with you.
I'm sorry.
He single-handedly made me a siege fight this week. If he eludes the first hit, he's pretty much unbeatable, especially in like crazy builds. I have mine with like 170k HP right now. It's slow, but I mean, if he eludes, he's gonna win the fight. He's unbelievable. So if you care about PvP, I would say get him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't tell people to buy. I don't tell people to spend in this game. If you care about PvP, get him. That's all I'll say.
I mean, he soloed this team, and I was like, this is a problem. And
He's so good, man.
But if he doesn't elude the first time, you can kill him really easily.
That's true. That's true.
It's a little RG, but if he gets that first elude, he is basically unkillable.
Right. PJ, what about you?
My advice would be buy him for sure. Yeah, definitely. You should have bought him yesterday. He's insane. Like I said this in the beginning when he first came out. It's like if you're a spender, just straight up buy him. Don't waste the shards and try to get him a progressive or try to do that. Like just spend the money and just straight up buy him. You're gonna save so many resources unless you get crazy lucky. Yeah. It sucks for free to plays. I'm sorry, but for everyone else, like Gestal said, if you like free to play or if you like arena, he's a beast.
Dude, one of my alts, I bought him, and then 5 minutes later, I pulled a dupe.
I mean, that's not bad either.
I ain't fucking mad.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it, dude. That was a little bit of a flex, dude. Like I was happy.
Yeah, I say, damn, okay.
Double pretty, dude. Let's get it. Like.
I mean, even with this, like I took the L on this, but look at it. I mean, 840,000 damage, and they stood no chance. Like Empress had to kill me. I took out the whole team, and I was left with Empress at the end, who was like, "Yep, I got you." But it was just evade after evade after evade with him. King, what about you? What do you think? Coming down,
I think that. I just think that, I'm also not somebody who is telling people that they should spend a ton of money in this game. I let people know, if you're low spend, pretty much just stick to the monthly gem pack, maybe the daily energy. But when you're talking about guaranteed champions and champions of the caliber that Predator is, it makes sense to go in and buy. I mean, even if you look at all the other goodies that you get along the way, it just is a good buy. And I think that, the Elva Pass from the Revival is another one of those that if Plarium did more things like this right here, then it would be really good for them. And it also would not feel as predatory for the community. Again, free to players kind of, that's the choice that some people make, is to play this game free, and that's their choice. And I wish them luck on their shard pulls, but if you are somebody who is spending in this game and you're kind of 50-50 on whether you should go for pred, honestly, it's a 100% buy if you guys are able to make it happen. Like, I hate evade champions. They drive me absolutely insane. I haven't liked it since Loki, the first one. Now we've got Loki, Michelangelo, Shredder, Predator. I think I'm forgetting somebody, but evade's not going anywhere, and Predator is the best one yet. So you should pick him up.
Okay. DeCurse, what do you think?
I've been debating it, and I realized there's 1 day and 14 hours left to get
1
him.
day,
So
17 hours. That's why that was the
17
only
hours,
reason
so I
why
still
I'm
got
bringing
some
this up
more
today is
time
because
to
we're
debate him.
so close to the
Yeah,
dead
I'm
end.
still gonna debate him some more. I messed up and didn't get He-Man when He-Man and Skeletor came out, and I think I'm gonna actually get Predator. I've been, staying strong, trying not to, but I think I'm going to. Like, he's annoying, and I need help for my tag team arena, and I think he'll be great on one of the teams.
So I will
Dude,
say
and he's Lizard Men too, which is
I-
crazy.
Yeah, I have no
used him
list.
for my
So,
Faction Wars team, and he everybody else will die, and he'll solo the boss, which is kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everybody else gets destroyed on the boss, and he solos the boss. That said, Zero, what about you, man? What are your final thoughts on this champion pass for people?
Yeah, again, echoing what everybody else said. If you're free to play and you can't get this champion, good luck on your shard pulls. However, this is the most no-brainer purchase ever. And I will say, of all the ones that they've had that's been purchasable, this was the best one, right? Like, people probably would have said He-Man above that, but I really have never used my He-Man, and I really have never used my Xena Warrior Princess. I think she was the other one, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, put it in perspective. We're going for the fusion right now. If you want this, AoE reviving dark elf chick, right? However you pronounce her name. Well, just to get her last 15 shards, assuming you've done everything else in the game, you still have to pull 7 or 8 sacreds at a cost of about $20 a pop, right? Yeah, you can supplement that with some dungeon divers or whatnot, but you can't do it all with dungeon divers. And so for $20, this is the best deal in the game, honestly. Like, and again, I get it if your budget's tight and you don't want to spend the bucks, but for $20, hey, don't go to Starbucks for 4 times in a month or something to pay for it.
$40 for this.
How much?
It was 40. 40.
Oh, it's 40. I'm sorry, It's 40. Yeah,
Hey, Blazing,
if
check
it's
your
20, it's
DM.
even better deal. Sorry. Yeah, sorry for $40. Yeah, my bad. Whatever the price point is, to the point, just to get 15 of the 100 you need to pull what, $160 worth of sacreds. So just to put it in perspective, right? And she's absolutely insane. So Predator just beat that team, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, yes. Even more of a reason to go for him. But with that,
Shout out to the homie Dom, dude. That's his win on that team I was talking about.
That's crazy. But yeah, even I will say that Predator is here as somebody who's been getting more and more into live arena. I've been looking more in through tier lists. I've been talking to a lot of my clanmates that are, top 15, 20 at the end of the season, and they're saying like Predator is an automatic ban pick for them. I do want to ask a question from you guys though, because somebody in chat, RJP on the YouTube side, asked us, what about if we don't have his 5-star soul, or if you don't have a soul for him, is he still worth it to use in arena? Just a quick answer. PJ, what do you think?
Yes, even without his soul, he's still good. If you get a 1-star, yes, I use Lightning Cage on him. I think there's 2 blessings. You either use Lightning Cage or Life Harvest, I think, is probably the other one. So for Lightning Cage, you only really need a 1-star. He's HP based, so 1-star is huge. Like, you can buy the soul. You can't get him later on. You can always get the soul later on. Like, yeah, I would say it's still worth it.
Okay. Toxic Whale says, okay, I just bought him. Relax, guys. You don't need to push him anymore. Gestal, what about you? What are your thoughts? Even without the soul, is he still worth having?
I kind of hate hearing that, but I feel him. Yeah, definitely use them. Definitely use them. You know, I've seen plenty of times using him without a soul. He's so strong, man. He is so like. I think people didn't expect him to be that good initially,
Right.
and he was a bit
Didn't.
overlooked. I overlooked him. I didn't buy him until about halfway through the thing, and I only did it because not. I kind of waited because I wanted like a good like a CVC or just like a good opportunity to get him a champ chase or something like that. Um, but man, like as soon as I got him, like built him, like everything, like use him, use him. You don't need his soul. He is incredibly strong, incredibly
Right.
strong.
Zero, what about you? Would you use them without the soul as well?
Oh well, yeah, 100%. I mean, like we've always said, especially if you're a damage dealer, you need at least the 4-star, and that's what I did on that. I forgot how that was, but they had like multiple paths or whatever, and I did forego getting the 5-star soul for him. So I did go get the 4-star, but again, and I will say, obviously one of the changes player made is with the shop now we get four resets a day, and it does, and they added more legendary slots, so it is cycling. I'm getting offered 5 or 6 stars like it's my job
I'm
right
regretting
now.
this so much because I don't have enough, and I look at them and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick
yeah.
this
Well,
up.
I mean, you could do like me and sell all your souls and get a
Well,
ton
I
of
was just
currency. That'll
I'm
help you.
just gonna say,
But yeah, and like me personally, I actually, funny enough, I just bought the 5-star Arbiter, and I'm holding out to get that 6-star Arbiter. And we did the maths with her thing on stream the other night, and I think her speed would be 486 for me with as the speed lead in arena. So yeah, so I'm basically holding out for that.
okay. I'm not sure if you can claim him during CVC, if that's going to be enough time, because I hope, I'm not confirming, I can't say for sure that he goes into your vault or into your mailbox if you don't claim him out of here. So just be careful on that, Toxic. King, what about you? Would you use him without the 6-star soul or without a soul?
Yeah, I mean, in this game where souls are so important these days, I mean that was huge power creep in this game. Every once in a while, a champion comes around where the soul is just sprinkles on top of the sundae. This champion only gets better with a soul, but he definitely doesn't need one to be effective. So if you're worried about it not having a soul, I would still say he's definitely worth picking up.
Okay. And then last but not least, the guy who's making his purchase right now, the Cursed. Are you, would you use
I mean,
him
there's a
without the
lot
soul?
of yeah. I mean, you use what you have. That's it. Like
Okay.
you have champions and you use them, whether you have a soul or not. You just hope like hell that eventually, player will give them to you. Look at my live arena team.
Right. Yeah, so I would say, the only thing I would say down the line is Plarium, if you're watching this, which I know you are, think about giving us maybe a 4-star soul when we buy this. Yeah, I would hate to say bump it up $10 and put the soul in and, give us a couple of extra goodies. But I think if you bumped it up $10 and you give everybody a 4-star soul with this, no one's going to complain. It's still a great champion to have as long as the champion's worth it. But that's my hot take on it. Maybe chat will say, no, screw you. We don't want to pay more. So, which is fair. That said, let's get into the big part of today's podcast, which is going to be epics and what our most underrated epics are, because there seems to be a misconception here of, because we have mythicals, because we have legendaries, that some of these epics are absolute trash. And I want to see if we have any hidden gems here, any champions that maybe, we sleep on because they're not good, or we just don't use them because they got a purple border around them and not a gold or a legendary or a red border. So let's start off, first of all, with the...
Wait, we're not going to talk about the gear sets?
We are. I wanted to save that towards the end, though.
Okay. Okay.
I know, but it's this may be a little more time consuming as opposed to taking the gear sets that would be a little bit faster to go through. That's all. All right, so let's start off with the epics first. And okay, so let me start off again. Let's start off with the Bannerlords first, and let's go to Mr. King Copium first. King, which epic here do you have that you feel is not getting enough limelight? Chat, same question goes out to you guys.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this whole approach as I'm not talking about anybody that people know to use like Stag Knight or any of that. So my goal is to get you guys to use a champion that you just wouldn't even take a second look at. So I think that Giscard the Sigiled is a very worthy epic to get leveled up for Curse City content as well as Faction Wars content.
Okay.
His AA2 brings the AoE provoke, and his A3 has an attack and defense increase buff. He also has a very decent passive that I can't remember now, but I know it's super solid.
Fills this champion serve meter by 50% whenever attacked an enemy under a provoke or an increased attack buff. Wow. Okay.
He's
Okay.
actually really good. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Zero next.
Yeah. So for me, and just to explain my perspective, if you go back to the list for us, so I did start spending money right out the rip. So I think I was kind of catapult myself into the legendaries before the epics, and so a lot of the epics that I have had to use later due to the content versus having to use them kind of out the rip, right? So I'm gonna have a little bit of a different take. I think Giscard's a perfect one to say there. But for me, it's Archmage, and I know that's one that a lot of people do use. But for me, I never used him until I got into Banner Lords, because I think it's his A2 or his A3 or something like that, provides a whole bunch of buffs, and I'm lucky enough to have Tarasa Marishka as well. And so, yeah, this is A3 right there, right? So that just supercharges Taras with his passive to do even more damage, or I think his passive, whatever it is. Basically, he multiplies his damage based on the buffs on your team. So this dude brings 3 for your entire team. So that's, 3 times 5, 15 buffs that gets added in on top of Taras. So shout out to Archmage for me on this one. And I never really used him until Faction Wars Hard Boss, honestly.
Okay. PJ, what about yourself?
I'm gonna be a shout out to Oathbound. I think Oathbound's an amazing champion. I use him in Curse City a lot. His A2 AoE decrease attack, also turn meter decreases our turn meter, and then the A3 block active skills, 4-hitter random, or attacks 4 times random, and helps me. I think it's the Taras Mariska stage in Curse City. I think he's in that one. He hits pretty hard too. He's a defense champion. Has a freeze on the A1, so can help to do a little CC. Very, very solid champion.
Yeah, I agree. So far, so good. No one's picked mine, so I'm interested to see. Gestal, what about you?
Well, I was gonna say Giscard. I got Giscard early on my free-to-play account, and he was incredible. The biggest thing for me was the provoke, obviously, and then the increased defense is huge. Like for early account, that is enormous. But I am gonna say, just to throw someone else out there, I actually use Lady Annabella still for my Bommel team. She can solo Bommel hard, or the top Bommel hard, whatever. And
You said
Doom
motorboat
Tower.
Bommel?
Yeah, she can do that too. Or Bommel can motorboat her, man. But
You don't have to switch to the next champion. We can just sit here for a second. It's all right.
She can solo, man. So I don't know. For that alone, I have her built and using her. She's a great epic. For later accounts. For someone you're looking to build, I would definitely suggest her.
Okay. DeCurse, what about you?
I've used Signy quite a bit.
Signy?
She's got Signy.
Really?
She's got
The no one. All right.
her
Okay.
A2 is books up to 100% to remove, a debuff from allies, and then she can also strip from, enemies. At least one, buff, and then her reflect damage helps. I'm kind of limited on champions, so she's been on my team with my Banner Lord, so yeah.
I said Bertha, bro.
Wow. All
I
right.
mean, sometimes you gotta like a big girl.
Hey, dude, the reflect damage on her is really nice, dude. No bullshit.
Yeah. So mine's actually going to be Warcaster, man, because the A2, you do not know how important block buffs is on some of these Grim Forest bosses that are an absolute pain in the ass. And being in an epic and bringing in a block buffs for 2 turns is massive. Plus, giving us the block damage for the Goblin is absolutely huge. Yes, it's on a 4-turn cooldown, but definitely a massive, massive help. So I love Warcaster, and he's an OG champion. I actually built 2 of them on the account. All right,
I want to give a shout out to Sessional too. He's really good. He's also a
Sessional.
provoker. He's a provoker as well. I used him in my Cursity I used him in my Faction Wars for the provoking stuff. I didn't use his card.
Yeah, actually has a
Middle row
pretty
left, yeah.
solid
Heal
kit too. Yeah.
Or like has a lot of heal. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at chat, and somebody did say that Chancellor Yasmin was also a really good one because of the healing that she brings with the support. So, and has a all battle aura 20%. Pretty strong right there. So those are some pretty good honorable mentions. All right, let's go into the high elves. And I'm just going to put it out there. I hope one of you calls out Jingle Hunter, but let's start off with
I was gonna do
the
it.
cursed one first.
One that a lot of people, I mean, I didn't know about, but Vergus. Vergus can go in there and solo the Scarab King. He puts a shield on himself with his passive, and he can just go to town.
Well, I'm just saying, if he looks like Ethos, and Ethos is a badass, he better be able to do something good. But yes, no, Vergus might be a little stat hungry, but in a what is it set? I forget which one it is that needs it to. Oh gosh, Chad, help me out here. Which set is it that needs to take down the Scarab King?
Destroy.
Is it Destroy?
Destroy set. Yes, that's it. Destroy set. He's actually pretty solid in that to take down the Scarab King. So very, very good. Massive call out there. Also, if you have a hard time with Faction Wars where you need to have a certain amount of buffs up, this guy brings up a bunch that can help you try to get that trial done for hard mode Faction Wars. King, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Andrissia, the Void Epic. She's basically like think of her like baby Necrit, except for she has to take a turn. Whereas Necrit applies all his buffs passively at the start. As long as you can get a turn with her, she will protect the hell out of your nuker. And she just has decreased crit damage, which helps with survivability. Her other abilities are her A3 is not bad too, because it decreases duration of enemy buffs by 2 turns. So I actually use her in my Faction Wars in Curse City.
Okay. Chat, what about you guys? Do you have any epics for high elves that maybe we're just sleeping on and aren't thinking about them? PJ, please tell me you're going to pick Exemplar.
No, sorry, not Exemplar. I mean, there are a ton of amazing epics here. Obviously, Royal Guard, Terrell, Neldor, Scaramus is insane. But my pick...
PJ's cheating.
Be an obvious one. I mean, those are the obvious ones. Like, those are... I mean, Scaramus might not be obvious, but... those are like the common ones, I feel like. This one might be a common one. Some of you guys might already know this. Some of you guys might not if you're not. But Ethlin is insane. Is a hitter, brings really good debuffs, block active skills, void, boosts himself up, extra turn on the A3 with increased crit damage and accuracy. Highly recommend. Might be an obvious one, might not be, but if you have this champion, do not sleep. Very strong.
I mean, passive
I
alone
just got the
ignores...
champion, so thank you.
Yeah.
Passive alone ignores 10% of the defense when attacking support defense and HP champions. I mean, that's pretty awesome right there. Gestal, what about yourself?
Well, I could be like PJ and name a bunch of guys too, because you took one of them saying that, brother. But
I didn't go into it. I didn't say why they were good.
No. And the old school ones definitely, I think, do deserve this shout out. I was gonna say Scaramus. Dude, I love this guy. I use him in my faction hard mode. Yeah, the provoke is crazy. A counterattack. The counterattack then has a chance to stun, bro. That is insane. And then the A2 also decreases duration of all enemy buffs, like by 1 turn. That can be insane too. This champ is so good for an for an epic. Yeah, he's so good. Seriously, you could name 6 or 7 of these epics. Like for how bad the Legos are in this faction, the epics are really good.
He's a hidden gem for Siege guys because if you put him in a relentless set, Stone Skin, high resistance and accuracy, he just goes on forever. I used him for an all epics team, and I got 9 wins, I believe it was, with him being on the team as a lead too, because he's got an all battles and 25%, which is absolutely massive. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so I had to do the same thing. Use Skaramis in Faction versus Us, who I was gonna pick, but my backup pick would be just Nildor, because for me in Faction Wars, Fire Knight 10 hard, his A1 provides the freeze there. It's not 100%, but it's a 3-time hitter, so you're looking at having another triple hitter on the A1 to help. I use 3 ally attackers as well on my team. So with the 3 ally attackers, I mean, just that alone, not to mention him taking his turn, that's 12 hits against the shield, and then once the shield is down, you're popping off 40% shot at popping off that freeze. And of course, G Nut in that team as well, right, with his triple hitter on his A1 too. So but yeah, so like he's kind of there to back up G Nut, and if I had a second G Nut, obviously Nildor would get replaced. But if you or I would say Fire Knight hard 10 is probably the hardest of the hard dungeons, right? So if you are looking to slot that in, Nildor is a good one to go in that spot.
Okay. For me, I'm actually going to go with Battle Sage, man, because she may not look like it, but aura in all battles 19%. We got a revive on death on a 4-turn cooldown, increase attack, right? Helping you. I mean, for normal mode Faction Wars, I was using her as my reviver. AoE on the A1. If you have any sort of blessing for her, you can put cruelty on, which is going to help her. Relentless sets. I mean, she might not look like a lot, but she does enough work in if you really need her to, especially if you're lacking revivers for the faction. So
Her strip on the A2 is nice as well.
that is true. That is true. All right, let's move on to Sacred Order. Now, Sacred Order has some massive epics. I mean, we got what, three lines full, 24 epics. Just quick math right here, but we've got some amazing epics here. Let's start off with Zero Brew first. What do you got for me, Zero?
I mean, there's just some amazing, and I don't want to start shouting out names, but I would say, and you have to use her Sanguinia probably, and you kind of have to use her because of Curse City. I think probably everybody's gonna pick it. There's one stage you can't do it without Sanguinia, and it's like, some of the epics in these slots you can take up to level 50 and stuff, but like that one's so hard. Without her, you can't complete it essentially.
Yeah,
but,
she's like Mother Cybele light, honestly, dude. Like Team Cybele.
Yeah, Team Cybele, I love it.
I hate you so much because she was my pick. I was like, no one's gonna pick her. No one's gonna pick her.
Well, I mean, there's plenty to pick that are like some of the best epics in the game, right? But yeah, I mean, that's the only one I can pick for that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Chat, what about you guys? Sacred Order, which epic are you the most in love with that is, a must build for your accounts?
An honorable mention to Missionary is a position, not a champion. And Bushi. By the way, that's all for laughs. They're terrible
crazy
champions.
Work, dude.
I wouldn't go with Bushy being a terrible champion, and I'll talk to you about it in a minute.
Okay,
about it.
all right.
But King, what about yourself?
Yeah, dude. So I'm gonna go with Lightsworn. Honestly, aesthetically, one of my favorite looking champs, epic champs for sure in the top 3. But his kit is simple and effective. A1 decreases target turn meter, one enemy 3 times. He's got the decrease attack and decrease speed on the A2, which books down to 3. but he brings increased defense and revive on death. He is defense based himself. Lightsworn can truck, and if you don't have a reviver, that revive on death really can come through for you. It books down to a 4-turn, which isn't the best, but we are talking about epics, of course, so I've seen a lot worse. I think Lightsworn is a gangster epic.
Not to shine back from that, but I believe it was Bronco that did a stage 10 hard mode video with Lightsworn using the increased defense as a reflect back to the boss to take the shield down. So massive call out there. Really good. DeCurst, what about you?
Okay, I talked a lot of shit about this champion the first time I pulled him in because I kept pulling him over and
It's
over again.
Frostbringer.
But no, Romero. Romero's got amazing heals on his A1 and A2 that they help out quite a bit. It helped me get through Faction Wars in the beginning when I was pushing for Lydia, and I still bring him in for time to time in Faction Wars now.
Okay. He did recently get a buff to give him a little more juice on his heels, so okay, I could see that.
I never
PJ
use him with the Juliana though. I just use his normal by himself.
Okay. All right. All right. PJ, are you gonna give us a reason why we want to level up a Frostbringer?
I mean, I could. People use Frostburger in Curse City, one of the stages. That's one of one of the annoying ones, one of the Soul Cross ones, I think. So you could. I actually could talk about her if you wanted. I was gonna say Mordecai. I mean, there's tons of great champions in this. I'm trying to think of champions that people don't already know that are good. I mean, there's super obvious ones. I'm not gonna mention because I got yelled at last time. But
That's right.
Mordecai's really good. He's an OG champion. A3, he places HP burns, so it's affinity friendly for Spider. Also gives you increased attack. The A2 does some turn meter decrease, some turn meter fill. Yeah, I think he's a very solid champion early on. Could be used for some Curse City stuff. Don't sleep on little Mordecai.
Okay, guys,
Day
out of
one
chat.
would be beautiful if it was AOE.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
What do you say?
His eighth.
As if his HP burn was AoE.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
the A1 to go with
Day one,
everything
yeah,
else
okay.
on it.
Oh, yeah.
Chat, how many of you guys actually have a Mordecai leveled and still actually use him? Is he geared? Gestal says, no. I'm all about the red and green, the red and yellow borders.
I have him built. I had him built and used him a lot. He's a great champ. I don't use him anymore though.
Gestal, what about you? What epic is a secret OP for Sacred Order for you?
I mean, being PvP, I got to give a quick shout out to Cardinal. People still run her. She's got a revive with 100% turn meter, so people run her like super high resist, stone skin, and then just get the revive to a couple guys, a couple nukers, and see if you can win that way. I've seen that, but I think the actual champ I would like to talk about is Lodric Falconheart.
Oh, yeah,
Not
dude.
only does he have an awesome freaking name, but he's if you actually don't want to cheese the Scarab King and you want to actually beat it the proper way, this is an epic that can allow you to do it. A 2-turn E3 has the shield on a 2-turn cooldown. You can keep the shield up 100% of the time just with this guy, and you can actually beat Scarab King properly.
That's what got me through Doom Tower, was Lodric Falconheart.
Yeah, he's the man.
I hate both Zero and you right now because you both took my 2 epics. Because I was like, okay, all right, he picks Sanguina. I was like, I use her in Faction Wars. She was like really busted good to have for the block debuffs and the heals. And then I was like, all right, my backup's him. You can use him for Scarab King. Of course, you had to take that. But hey,
I have hope in you.
I have love for Talia, man. Talia on her A2 is an absolute beast of a champion on a nuker. I slept on her for so long. She gives herself, it's not a massive increase attack. It's a little boy and an increased crit rate. So I do hope that she gets a little bit of a buff, giving her the bigger versions of this. I don't pair her with Finax, but she is a massive champion to have. I used her in the Grim Forest challenge so much. And the counterattack really, really helps. So absolutely love her. And I want to give a special shout out to Aethar for if you are looking for clan boss help, this guy poisons for days, right? massive nuker, just absolute god tier for clan boss, and a lot of other single target bosses. Like, he will carry some of those teams. He is an absolute beast of a champion. All right, barbarians, man. Do we have epics here? And we've got some epics that love to read. Hopefully we don't pick any of those, but let's talk about it. Let's start off with the curse one first.
Well, let's see. I mean, I do have a +4 6-star awaken, woad. So, no. Yeah, there's not really any of the epics here that I really have anything to say good about other than Fat Man.
Okay, so you're just going
Crazy
with
take.
Fat Man Farrakhan. Okay,
That's a crazy take, dude.
I agree with King here. I agree with King. But Farrakhan the Fat, I mean, definitely a solid champion. Giving us the excuse me, ally attack, HP burns, decreased defense, and the poisons. Though the negative side is, he does deflect some of the damage onto everybody else, so it makes him a little challenging. But let's go to Mr. King next. King, what do you think, man?
I just want to be like PJ when I grow up. So I'm just going to say a couple of names real quick, and everybody's going to be real cool about it. No, I'm joking. Barot the Blood Soak, dude. I think people sleep on him, dude. He's another really cool looking champion, too. Aesthetics play a part in anything I do in this game, but his kit is pretty nasty, dude. His A2 is a shield and a heal. It books down to a 3-turn cooldown as well, and it heals based off the damage you inflict. So you actually get really decent heals when you actually build him to smack. And the other thing is his A1 brings a little turn meter. We're never upset at that. It raises his, drops theirs. And then on his A3, it's a 2-hitter. The first hit can drop decrease attack and removes increase attack. And the second hit has a chance to put decreased defense and remove increased defense. He's also got pretty decent starter stats. I mean, again, we're talking about epics, and he's old school. So his stats don't look as great as some of these newer epics they've put in the game, but I promise if you guys level this guy up, he will help you out in Curse City content.
Definitely agree with that. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, there's several in here that I hope get mentioned, but an effort of kind of what I'm trying to do with my theme here is I think people, because she has power crept so early in the game, but she's a free champion that you get, I think maybe at 120 days or whatever. But High Katoon, like, I think there are so many champions now in the game that do turn meter manipulation so much better than she does. But for the longest time, even against Dark Fae to Ho is what I call her. Dark Fae, she's really good because she brings that speed aura. She's got the the A3 that does the turn meter down, and then the A2 which does the turn meter up. And I know there's several legendary champions that have that kind of built into both of their stuff, right? And then she can target with the A1 and put the decreased speed out. She is definitely gets power crept very early on, but if you do have epic content or just need a speed lead with a bunch of turn meter, I think she's just really good and solid.
She's actually 30 days, and she's the first champion you get. First login.
There you go. Sorry. Thank you for fixing that. Yeah, so 30 days. Like if you're brand new to the game and you get her, like I see people that get other epics, like, and I'm not saying don't level up at your Geo or something like that, but she should be in your top 3 champions, especially if you get her that early to level up and start using.
Right. Also, great champion to pair for Demetha to try to get that 2-to-1 comp so you can get your clan boss team to work as well too. So good call out there. PJ, what about you?
Man, I think there's a couple of decent epics in here. I'm gonna go with Huskrul. I think he's very, very good. He's really all about the CC. He does lots of stuns. A1 has a chance of stunning. The A2 has a chance of stunning. The A3 does increase defense, increase res, and then also remove stuns if you have any on your team. Use him in some Curse City stuff. Very, very strong. Just lots of stuns. Control. Check him out.
Yep. Agree.
Dude, his character model, bro, the first time I put him on a team and I went in there, that motherfucker is huge, dude. I was like, I was shocked, dude. I was like, what the fuck is that? I couldn't even remember what was on my team. You guys huge.
Chat, what about you guys, barbarians? Who would be a secret OP epic that you use and maybe don't see a lot of other people using? Gestal, what about you? I think I have a feeling.
Armina, bro. Armina
Nice.
is
That was my
insane.
backup, dude. Yeah.
Bro,
Tuesday
she is
steak.
so good. AoE, decreased defense early on in this game is a necessary thing to have. If you can get her AoE, and then you have AoE, decreased defense, not to mention, bro, AoE stun on her A3, and her A1 has a stun, and anytime she lands a stun, she gets Terminator. She is a crazy good epic. Crazy good.
She was my
I'm
first
not
decreased
late, you know.
defense.
Yeah. Dude, she's really good, man. I got another champ I got early in my free to play that she just like she was on every team.
Okay.
The
Wow.
reason that it sucks for her is because she just like it's hard in the beginning to build with accuracy, you know, until
Yeah.
you get in your Great Hall and your Spider figured out. But dude, she is decent for sure.
Early on, she's great.
All right, my shout out's actually going to go to a champion that we all get for free, which is DJ, man. Early on, getting a reviver is super necessary for almost all your teams. Revives all dead allies with 30% HP, 30% turn meter, brings in a heal, right, and fills turn meter by 30%. The A3 attacks one enemy, has a chance of placing a sleep, even though it's a low percent chance. If Cornum's on the same team, the sleep can't be blocked or resisted and places a decreased speed. And then on our passive, whenever an ally uses an active skill, has a 20% chance of decreasing the cooldown of that skill by 1 turn, and it books down to 1 turn, which is absolutely massive. So kind of like a mini Kymar support healer. I think a lot of people for an epic champion really sleep on her. And again, she's a free champion that you can get starting, you know, within day 1 if you just level a couple of alt accounts. So really, really awesome epic there. I'm looking through chat here and somebody says Swine Firstborn is really solid, brings in a decreased defense on the A1, increased attack, and increased crit damage. Comes in on the A2, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a decreased attack for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, books up to 100. And then the A3 attacks one enemy before attacking, has a 75% chance of placing a 25% weaken for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Pretty solid. I don't know multipliers, but hey, this is all about getting those sleeper epics that are just sitting in there in our vaults, getting to use them and maybe, you know, uncovering a hidden gem.
Yeah, and I'll say if you're not, she didn't get mentioned, so I have to mention her. Alika is one of the best ones on there. So if you're sleeping on Alika, because she has her A3 does the cooldown, and she actually hits really hard. Her A1, if it's crit, does a double hit if you build her as a nuker. But that A3 putting your enemy on cooldown, she's a sleeper.
I chickened her, bro, like way back in the day. And I've not been able to pull one since on my main account. And I am just waiting, dude. I want her so bad.
She's really good. I will say,
I have
like she
7 of them.
Reads the books. Yes.
Yeah, she needs books. She needs books.
Oh, she a reader.
All right, Organ Tribe, man. This is one of the most difficult factions to try to build like a team for hard mode faction wars. But some of these epics do come in pretty strong. And I will say I'm in love with a couple of these. But let me start off with Gestal first. Gestal, what do you think?
Bro, Grush is actually pretty insane. He's got a one's got a leech, which can be used. I think I've seen people using them in actually Fire Knight Hard. AoE, A2 that's got decreased attack, decreased crit damage, which is strong for the waves if you're taking too much damage there. And then heals. He's got a AoE continuous heals that he puts up. So pretty strong champ. Even late game, you can find some use for him in Fire Knight. I think it's Fire Knight Hard mode.
Okay. I remember him being back when unkillable wasn't a big thing. Bringing the decreased attack and the decreased crit damage for clan boss was massive. He brought a good support heal, right? The leech keeping you alive, so it was pretty massive back in the day. So good call out. Defensive base too, so you can build him to support himself. PJ, what about you?
Damn. There's a lot of really like strong epics in this faction, which is kind of funny because the faction is really hard overall. But I feel like there's actually a bunch of really solid epics. Um, I don't know which one's obvious or not obvious. I really like.
I feel like the whole faction slept on, to be honest, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Shatterbones. He's really
Oh, you
strong.
son of a gun.
Damn.
Sorry.
Okay,
I can
That
give
was
some.
the
I'll
other
do
one.
someone else. If you're gonna do Shatterbones, I'll pick someone else.
No, do it.
Okay.
He's
Yes, he's
good.
really good. He's very strong. His A2 AoE triple hitter, so he's actually gonna be really good into Mercurial. I'm not sure if I'd actually use him for Mercurial, but like technically you could. Also, with that move, he decreases their turn meter. A3 decrease speed, fills your turn meter. A1 increase attack on all allies. If it's critical, he hits pretty strong as well. Use him in a bunch of my Faction War stages, Curse City stages. Very strong champion.
Okay. Okay. Gestal, what about yourself?
They did me.
Oh, sorry, I already did you. Zero, what about you?
So this one just has a special place in my heart. Because I think it was like one of my second or third ever gotten epic in the game, and I relied on this champion super heavy early on before I started spending a ton of money in this game. But Eurogrim, it's a void, it is, but like even today, I can't beat certain stages in Ignorance, and I have Gizmac and stuff like that without Eurogrim. And my understanding is when he first came in the game, he was broken and got nerfed. I'm sure the old one today.
No. Let's. He
I don't
didn't-
know. I don't know the history. I'm just saying today he would be probably up to par with what the power creep is. And again, I don't know what he was. I just had him post nerf. But his A3, having the ability to put a couple poisons out and continuous heals on your team, being able to cleanse on his A2, it's only on a single target. And then heals him by 40%, but that's massive. And then the A1 is not even 100% chance of landing the poisons, but it's one of those where he's got the speed lead aura as well in all battles, 20%. So it's one of those, you put him in as your speed lead, and then he's out there cleansing a champion on your team that maybe catches a stun or a provoke or a whole bunch of other stuff that you don't want on them. He can heal, Eurogram's a he, I think. They can heal, and then what's weird is the poisons actually start ticking up in damage, and it's one of those. It's like, especially on those longer faction wars hard fights, those poisons do actually start kicking in and doing some work. And of course, you can always put an arachnid elixir on him as well and get some stuff done.
Right. I just want to clear up for anybody that says he was a guarantee, because that's I thought where you were going to go with that he was a guarantee.
Oh,
and there was
no.
nerf. He was never a guaranteed, and he was nerfed free. I think was like right after the patch came out because he was more broken than Bad Alcazar on crack. Yeah, exactly. So massive call out there. King, what about you?
Yeah, dude. Fucking love Shatterbones, but I'm gonna switch it up to. I don't know. I don't want to do two voids back to back, so we're gonna do Claude Beast Feeder, or as I affectionately call him, Breastfeeder.
I do.
Don't call him. That's what I say.
So you know what, Plarium? Don't make it easy for me, okay? That's all I got to say. He's got the A1 with the decreased crit rate. I mean, it is what it is. But his A2 places a shield on all allies equal to 20% of his HP, which I know at first glance you're like, okay, it's a shield, but it's his HP. So it's one of those champions where you can focus on his build to give a really effective shield for your whole team. And then his A3 comes in with the big increased speed, big increased accuracy, which is huge early on and still huge in to make some builds just easier and more simple. His passive also heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of their HP at the start of his turn. He's a really good candidate for like a relentless build because the more turns you cycle through him, you're going to get a lot of passive healing. And then you're also just going to be cycling those buffs and keeping that shield up. He's pretty decent for Scarab. I mean, we're talking about another shield champ. It books down to a 3 turn, so it's not as good as like Lodric we talked about previously. Gestal talked about him, but I think that this is a huge champion. He also has a base speed of 110, which is pretty fucking huge for an epic champion. I mean, that's pretty quick.
Right. The Cursed. What about you?
I got this champion late, But my cousin has been using Grunch for quite a while. It's helped carry him quite a ways. His ability on his A3 to swap debuffs into continuous heals is amazing.
Oh, my
It's just,
doppelganger.
yeah. Like, and then
Okay.
he places the bombs. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Not the best, but he does, have a chance. It goes up to what, 70%. His fills turn meter by 10% whenever a bomb debuff goes off. So, he gets a lot. Plus he has block buffs on the A1. That's amazing.
I had to use him for hard mode faction wars for the bombs debuff. And ironically, he's my daughter's favorite champion because he looks like the Grinch and she loves the Grinch. So, yeah.
I've talked with Blazon's daughter in Discord on the way home from soccer, and I can tell you, she and the Grinch have a lot in common.
Yes. They're both very
She's a little
mean
hater.
to Team Coco. They're both
She's
very
mean,
to
dude.
Team Coco.
She's so mean, dude.
Takes after her daddy. No. But my call out's actually going to be Lauren the Cutter, man. Again, Grim Forest bringing in heal reduction, leech, absolutely massive to take down the chess boss. Like it's huge. The A3, right, attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 100% on a 4-turn cooldown. Really, really massive. And then A1 is a triple hitter, getting some heals back. He is a really, really solid epic. All right.
Siege Hulk, honorable mention.
Siege
He's so
Hulk is,
good.
yes, Siege Hulk is an honorable mention. I mean, there's a lot. I would have picked Shrank.
Yeah,
Scrank
Scrank
but
too. Yeah, Scrank's
a lot of
amazing.
people, already
One
have
of the
them
best
built.
ones.
Ugo Maneater.
Prundar, very, very
Oh my god,
solid.
Ugo and Maneater.
Yeah.
I actually just built my Ugo in a affinity breaker set because instead of relentless, because I just needed it and she was that massive. And I mean, we can't forget our old school Skull Crusher, right? Bringing the unkillable clan boss team was just
I
absolutely
still use him
massive.
in Curse City for Fire Knight. A couple of
Yeah,
Fire Knight stages.
Uzgar's not bad either. He does hella healing.
Yep.
Dude, I've never leveled Wuzgar or Lauren, and I'm trying to convince myself to do it.
Maybe
But
after
Wuzgar
this.
is an
Doing well,
ugly
are you?
motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go on to Lizardman. Lizardman is very, very harsh for epics. We don't have a lot, but we do have a couple of good ones here. So let's go ahead and let's start off with the cursed one.
And the only one I like out of all of them is Venomage.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Heal
That's it.
reduction.
Her heal reduction, her poison, her decreased defense. Like, she's a great champion. I had her early on in my account, and she carried me quite a ways. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely agree. Venomage actually can solo stage 10 hard mode dragon. So you can get it with some food. Obviously, it's not a fast run, but definitely a massive call out there. And definitely helps out with Amius as well, too, right? When she's in the rotation. King, what you got for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Quargan the Crowned. A3 brings a ton of buffs. Got perfect veil, increased attack, block debuffs, increased defense. Books down to a 4-turn. Pretty decent for survivability. Of course, you get that perfect veil damage reduction. Really nice. Also has a heal on the A2 and places a shield equal to the allies' max HP for 2 turns. So not as good as based off of their own HP, but also on the A1 has that 30% chance, books up higher, but to increase a random buff on a random ally by 1 turn. It's not the craziest A1 in the world, but if it hits the right buff, it can get pretty spicy on those runs.
Okay. All right. Zero, what about you?
I mean, honestly, the only one that's worth using has been the mage for the most part. But I guess
True.
I know Skathix is insanely good, actually. Places a block damage on themselves with their passive, right? If they drop below, and then it's out there basically as a full cleanse, then block debuffs and a shield on your allies. It's not a ton compared to other champions that do that, but for an epic, that's pretty darn good. Attacks all
max
enemies
HP
still
too, right? So you can
Yeah,
build him
max
tanky
HP,
and get him
yeah,
his max HP. So that's pretty massive.
exactly. Yep, and so you can
Um,
control that, right?
Yeah.
And then the A1, technically it's a single target, but you can put decreased speed on someone. So, all around really good champion for an epic, right? And again, it is a void epic, so do with that with what you will. But yeah.
Okay. Pretty solid right there. 100% agree with you. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I think there's a couple actually pretty good epics in here. Maybe I'll touch up on a few at the end if no one else mentions them. But I'm gonna go with Broodlord. Actually, I think he's pretty solid. He kind of has an interesting kit when you look at it. I use him in Curse City. It's pretty much about so you go away A2. It does an ally protection and block debuffs, and that pairs with the passive. Whenever this champion is attacked, or whenever an ally under ally protection is attacked, has a chance of placing a decreased speed. And then his A3 has a chance of stunning if they're under decreased speed. His A1 has a chance to provoke. So he just does a lot of control. Can provoke them, can stun them, does a little protection, slows them down. I use him. He's actually pretty solid. Do not sleep on the Broodlord.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
I'll go with Jareg, bro. Jareg's actually really strong for
not him.
Oh, Jareg.
Huh?
Jareg.
Jareg.
Jareg. Yeah, Jareg. Yeah. Super strong for that one Doom Tower boss that locks you out, where you can only use A1s. He brings the decrease attack on his
Eternal
A1.
Dragon?
Eternal Dragon.
Yeah, Eternal Dragon. I use this guy forever on Eternal Dragon. Brings that decreased attack so you guys can survive. Also has ally attack and increased defense. And his passive puts up a continuous heal, so super strong because of his passive and his A1 for Eternal Dragon. I used him for a long time, man. Really good champ.
I remember one of the most sought out champions for Clan Boss back in the day for ally protection, because he was so good. All right, so mine is gonna be Aox, man. That passive is absolute massive. Increases the duration of 2 random debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn. When attacked, occurs once per hit. Brings you a decreased attack and decreased crit rate. This guy, I'm sorry, he's a god mode to solo some of these bosses. And again, I'm pushing Grim Forest because this is what I've been doing for the last like 2 weeks. But some of these epics in there, I'm just like, oh my god, why have I not built them? Why am I just stuck on legendaries? And I will say, doing that kind of a challenge has really given me a much more enjoyable perspective of Raid Shadow Legends rather than just being able to steamroll through everything. But Aox, absolutely massive right there.
Combo with the passive.
To me, Aox
Geomancer.
is like Geomancer, exactly.
Yeah.
Like Geomancer and Aox are on the same level. Geo being attack, but Aox being a support. Like, he literally feeds his own kit so well. I mean, he extends the poisons that he puts on. He gets more healing for every debuff that's on there. So him extending it actually improves his heals. Like,
Right.
he's incredible, dude.
And then
Galappo is really good too.
Which one?
Galappo, the new one.
The new turtle. Gives us heals on all allies by 15% of this champion's max HP. On the A2, fills the turn meter, gives us increased resistance.
And he
Revive an
revives.
ally with 50% HP and 50% turn meter, 75% HP and 50% turn meter. Places an unkillable buff and a reflect damage on that ally for 2 turns. Passive, heals this champion by 25% of their max HP whenever an ally dies. Heals all allies by 50% of the champion's max HP whenever this champion dies. This is kind of like a Mother Side Bell type of situation. And then an AoE A1, right, heals this champion by 5% of their max HP. Actually, sounds like a pretty good champion to build for Siege. I was gonna say, don't sleep on Broadma either, because he may just be looked at as a fusion champion that we get for champ chase points, but revives 2 random allies and heals them by 25% of their max HP. Sorry, and places a block damage. Increase crit rate, increase speed, and get a little bit of a turn meter boost, and then has a chance to place a freeze on the A1. Not a massive, but hey, still a pretty solid champion to have, especially in like Curse City. All right,
There's a dead baby on his back, dude. Also, his rework is was super sick. It made him such a good champ.
All right, Skinwalkers chat. We got a bunch of champions here, and I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. So let's go ahead and let's start off with Zero Brew first. Zero, what you got for me for Skinwalkers?
Phew. In terms of all of these, and I'm so mad because I sold my both soul.
Oh dang.
Yeah, I know, but that's not who I'm. That's not because I haven't used him, right? So, I absolutely love Akentum's, and I use two of them together, and they are so amazing with other poisoner champions, like with the Cavalax and stuff. Akentum is probably one of the best ones on here whatsoever. So that's the ones I've used the most. So that's probably what I'll stick with. There's some other ones that are decent. And fun fact, I've been selling my Taurus, whatever his name is, the entire time, and I finally just pulled another one and started building. But that is one of the top poisoners in the game. But yeah, Kentum is absolutely insane. So if you don't know, you get that
Zero Brew's
hex out.
cheating.
But when you run two of them together, obviously you'll kill way so crazy. You can put them in a stun set, and when the passive triggers, it'll actually trigger the stuns as well because it counts as a hit. And one would think because the A1 and the A2 are triple hitters, you put the triple hit, whatever was it?
Giant Slayer.
Yeah. You actually put you put the other one on, War Master on, but because it's only a single hit on that passive when it pops off. And so you have a better chance of dropping your stuff. But and you can spread the debuffs. Kento's one of my favorite epics in the game, actually.
Okay. King, what you got for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with both the Rancid, 100%. A bit of a weird kit because I'll get into it, but he's got heal reduction on the A1. Not a super high percentage, but heal reduction is pretty huge, especially now that we've got Grim Forest out here for like mimics and whatnot. He's also got an AoE decrease accuracy, but it increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn on a 3 turn. And then his A3 removes 2 random debuffs from all allies, heals them by 10% of their max HP, and also gives increased accuracy. But one of the main reasons why I love both is because it decreases the damage all allies receive from poison debuffs by 50%. So sometimes, actually, in live arena, I have had to pull both out and throw him in on like a Nell Calvalax team situation.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that it's just a hard counter, but I have been able to squeak out a win here and there just by throwing him in the team.
Okay. Definitely agree with him. Use them in Grim Forest. I can say 100% agree. The Cursed, what you got?
I'm a big fan of using.
Use them.
Yeah.
You mean Ursine Ironhide?
No,
Nope.
using.
Very bottom.
Bottom row, second left.
Yes. This guy
Rhino.
is
Right,
absolutely
Rhino.
massive.
I am a big fan of him and how he pairs well with the hippo, the hippo as well. Like between the two of their skills, you're gonna be revived, you're gonna be healed, you're gonna,
Bebop.
be cleansed. Like it works pretty well together.
Okay.
I am a big fan of him.
All right. Yeah, no, I've definitely seen him on some siege teams for epics only. How do you feel about me trying to push Ursine Ironhide on you instead of
I don't touch the bears.
PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I think there's a couple good epics here. The other thing I want to mention about both I agree that both is really good. He's also really good for one of the Fire Knight stages in Cursed City, with the heal reduction and some of the other things he does with the removing the debuffs. Very strong there as well. So good call for both. A couple of the new ones are really good. I'm gonna go with an oldie but a goodie. We're gonna go with Steel Skull.
Nice.
She's just, or he, she, he, they, he. Pierce nips are open. So
Dude,
yeah,
honestly, I do the same thing, bro. That's so funny. I'm like, are the boobies out,
yeah,
bro?
can you
Like-
see?
Like,
Yes, exactly. He's an OG. He might be a little bit power crept, but I still use him quite a bit in some Cursed City stuff and some faction war stuff he could be useful for. Increased defense, heals all allies by their max HP. I wish it was his max HP. Removes debuffs from an ally, heals them. Like he's nothing crazy, but he's just good at what he does. Just lots of healing, and I think most people know about him, but he's still a solid champion.
Agree. I use them for Cursed City for the Fire Knight with the reflect damage on the increased defense. Massive help.
The blessing.
Yeah. Gestal, what about you?
Well, I mean, Basher for sure, I believe, is the only epic that locks out. Could be wrong, but
Mini Warlord.
No, Alika locks out.
Alika locks out too, yeah.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But
Was for a
Basher,
long time the only epic.
yeah.
But also has a block buffs on the A3. Great champ. I see him in Siege a lot, but I'm gonna go old school with it, bro. Steel Skull.
So you're gonna go with Steel Skull too?
Oh,
PJ
did
just
someone do
called him.
Steel Skull? Suck. All right. Well, then I'm gonna go with Fane.
Okay.
There you go.
Fane's. I'm sorry, man. I was thinking of something else while he
all
was
good.
talking. My bad. Yeah, decrease defense and weaken, triple hit on the A3, and then poison, decrease attack on the A2. As soon as you get her, you got a great attack champ for your clan boss, and it's a great way to start the game off, man. When she came out, like, everybody was using her. She was crazy good. I believe she was part of a fusion, and people just kept her instead of going for the full fusion. She was that good. So Fane, bro, not really talked about much lately, but back in the day, she was all the rage.
Yeah, I still use her on one of my baby accounts for what is it, Spider 10 hard mode to put that decreased defense and weaken on. Absolutely a massive help there. All right, my call out's gonna be Snorting Thug. This guy attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of stealing 1 random buff, HP based, right? And it books up to 50% on an H1. Will attack one enemy, will ignore the target's defense if they have no active buffs, steals 2 random buffs on the target, and then on the passive has a 30% chance, books up to 50 of stealing 1 random buff on the attacker. When hit occurs once per turn, counterattacks the attacker if they have no active buffs. This guy can melt bosses if he's built properly, ignoring that defense. 100% defense, guys. It's 100% ignored defense. It's just absolutely massive on a 3-turn cooldown. Put him in Relentless set, and man, I felt like he was just Whisper 2.0. But definitely a lot more solid epics. I do want to keep it moving though, because we are getting halfway through, and we got to talk about well, we just actually did talk about Skinwalkers. We got to talk about Orcs. Orcs have some really good champions, and I want to see if you guys are going to pick the one that has been really talked about to me lately when I brought this subject up. But let's start with PJ first.
There's tons of great epics here. As far as sleepers, I don't know if it's a sleeper. I'm just saying there's Argala. I don't think she's a sleeper, but she's just really good.
Dalek's
Old
wife.
school. Yeah, she hits really hard. Again, another triple hitter AoE, does decrease defense. The A2 is really nice, it's strong, and then if she kills someone, it does the A3, and I don't think it like puts it on a cooldown or anything like that. Yeah, she's just a beast. If you haven't used her, highly recommend. Crazy damage, good debuffs.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
What are we on, Orcs?
Orcs. Yep. I know he wants to pick Seer, and he knows that's a no-no.
Yeah, I won't go there. It's too easy. Someone I use a tremendous amount is Duck, bro. Duck the Pierced. He's got the Provoke on the A3. He's got decreased defense and decreased attack, AoE on the A2, and decreased accuracy on the A1. I've used him in Faction War hard mode, man. He's a solid epic, super solid epic.
He can actually nuke too, if you build him as a nuker. Pretty well.
Yeah,
actually.
defense.
Yeah.
DeCurst, what you got for me, bro?
My favorite of all the orcs, even better than my dog, is Yellow Gurna. I feel she is slept on by everybody. She can nuke. She has on her A3, you're talking block buffs, block active skills. Yes, it's only it's a single target, not AoE, but it's nice. Her A2 is fantastic, 100% chance to put decreased attack. Her A1, increased attack buff on herself, but the biggest thing is her passive. Every time she kills, she will revive.
Kind of like an Ultin 2.0 mini version, because Ultin did the same thing. So wow, 2-turn revive. That's that's actually pretty massive. I just looked at her and I actually just booked her earlier today, I should say. But maybe time to build her. All right, King, what you got for me, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tuhawk the Wanderer. He's a super decent hitter. He's got the A1 cooldown increase chance. A2 is an increase and decrease speed. And his A3 is a single target stun and turn meter steal. His passive is also goes pretty hard. Decreases the damage taken by this champion by 20% when their HP drops below 60%. So it's kind of like a damn, I just lost his name, but he's the orc. He's Galek's dad. But
Artek.
yeah, Artak. It's kind of like Artak's passive before Artak was a thing. So the lower HP he gets, the less damage he takes, and he can actually truck it through pretty hard if he's built decent.
Okay. Zero, what you got for me?
The one I love to get to use, Vrask. He's insane. Passive basically heals all allies by 10% of this champion's max HP whenever he inflicts a critical hit. So obviously you need him to be crit capped. And then you actually just turn off his A2 and let him do his A1. So attacks one enemy but fills this champion's turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical. And that is insane. Put him in relentless, get him a couple shots to get to go again and stuff. And he's just healing your team constantly. He's solid. He's really good.
Agreed. So mine is actually going to be Old Hermit Jorg, which I actually use in my stage 21 hard mode faction wars. And he might not seem like a lot, but he brings what's needed. He brings the increased attack. He brings some HP burn, which the boss cannot flip to another debuff. I put him in a protection set and bolster, revives 2 random allies, bringing him over what's-her-face, because I do have her as well too, Raka. I was having a much lower success rate using Raka to complete the hard mode stage, and I actually got a much better success rate of completing it with Old Hermit Jorg. So this guy was a massive thing for me. Love him. All right.
Yeah, he cleared that faction for me.
All right, Demon Spawn, man, we have a lot of epics here, and really, really good ones. Chat, where do you guys, which epic is your sleeper OP? And let's start with the cursed.
I've used your Takata. I've used her quite a bit.
Block, man.
Yeah, I've used her quite a bit. She's got the hex. She puts out poison sensitivity. She puts out poisons. Like, I've used her quite a bit. Plus her speed lead, 15% all battles. She's helped me in quite a few stages. Early on, Demon Spawn, she carried me until I got what is it, Duchess?
Okay. Massive book read. Holy crap.
Those A1 books. Oh my goodness.
Books. Holy smokes.
On an A1? Teleria.
She's a reader.
I may or may not have fucked her.
Cracking problems. King, what about you?
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go to Gorlos Helma. Probably my favorite aesthetic in Demon Spawn, but his kit is also solid. He's got enemy on the A1, one enemy 2 times. It fills his turn meter by 10% if they're under decreased defense, HP burn, or decreased accuracy. A2 is an AoE decreased defense for 2 turns, and the A3 is a single target HP burn and decreased accuracy. Fills his turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical. If you build this guy correctly with some accuracy, he can truck, and his turn meter definitely cranks too. So I'm a huge fan.
Right, and for the longest time, I think he was the only one that could place a AoE decreased defense for that faction as well.
Yep.
Zero, what you got for me?
Yeah, I was gonna just honorable mention Urtakata too. That's who I was gonna pick. So I'm glad they did get picked. I would say Achak is a really solid champion. And what's funny is, and y'all mentioned Mordecai. So that Spider 25, and again, this is before we got hard dungeons, but it's the right affinity, and you can pair Archak with Mordecai and get the freeze and the burns out. But basically, can control all the spiders with Achak here. So really decent champion, and I know it. Depending on things. You could also put out burns and stuff like that too. But again, there's a lot of new freezers in the game, but this is an old school one that could get her done. AoE.
Okay. And I'm gonna steal a comment here from Zach on YouTube, who says, you know, this guy's a reader too. 7 on the A3, 9
Yeah.
on the A1. That's a lot of epic books. PJ, what you got?
We're gonna be giving a shout out to Skimfos, very
Okay.
solid champion. He's void. I really like the A3, the A2. So the A3 transfers all debuffs from this champion to the enemy, then attacks, steals 100% of the target's turn meter if it's critical. He also does some good damage as well. So build him damage, build him with some accuracy. Yeah, do some work. A2 does a decreased attack, AoE. Also can transfer some debuffs, except for like hard CC, and decrease speed on the A1. Heals himself a little bit with the passive as well. Definitely solid. Help me with some Curse City stuff.
Okay. Gestal, what do you got for me?
Well, all of mine were taken already, so I'm just gonna go with Umbral. I feel like Umbral made a bit of a comeback with Hydra because she does have that AoE block buffs. Yeah, and the provoke. The provoke isn't super useful there, but it can be used just because of the high turn count. But the A2 is huge. I saw a lot of people using that on Hydra back in the day. And I just want to throw the Padma out there as well. If you get her early, she does have that A1 decrease attack, which is really strong for early Clan Boss teams.
Yep, 100% agree. All right, so mine's actually gonna go to Nazana because she's got a ally protection, places a shield on her, decrease attack, has a 50% chance of placing it for 2 turns, AoEs everywhere. I mean, stun set is what she is built for. Curse City hard mode. She made the Taras Marichka stage just so much easier because of that, right? Really, really massive there. All right.
I'd like to give a shout out to Cyan as well. If he for early game players, if you're needing somebody that does heal reduction, he is perfect for Grim Forest. His A2 does a 2-turn heal reduction and a 3-turn cooldown.
He is a champion that you do get for free, if I'm not mistaken. But it's kind of way late in the game, unfortunately. By that time, you probably already have some other champions built for it. But really good, really good. All right, Undead Horde. All right, here we go. I hope you guys don't pick her
Rapid fire.
or them or him or whatever. I'm not trying to give any hints, but let's go to the Curse one first. The Curse, what do you got?
The Undead Hordes I use the most. I mean, personally, I think Vogoth is just like top tier. Like, gotta be done. Great healing. It has the provoke. It's just, yeah, I feel like the leech and, with the provoke, I feel like it's just fantastic. You got to go with Vogoth.
Okay. Put him in a bolster set, give you healing for days.
Yep.
King, what you got for me?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kafru the Death Keeper. A little bit Vogoth, but added nukage. Let's see here. So the A1, 50% chance of transferring a random debuff from this champ to the enemy target. They attack all enemies. They remove a random debuff from all allies, and damage increases by 5% for each debuff removed. They also heal themselves or heal each ally by 10% of this champion's max HP. So another one where you can build their HP to affect a solid heal. The A3 places unkillable for 1 turn, taunt for 2 turns, but the passive decreases the damage all allies receive by 10%. This champion will receive that damage instead. So it's kind of a built-in ally protection. And yeah, this champion can hit pretty freaking hard if they're built correctly.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I'll just go quick, but Annex, single target nuker. I absolutely love him. He's kind of like Fane from the Skinwalkers. They back in the day were top 10 damage dealers against the clan boss. So if you get him early on and you're struggling with clan boss, consider putting him in, and he also brings some poisons to the fight, which is really nice.
Super solid in Curse City. I use him still.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. Okay. PJ, what you got for me?
We're gonna give me a shout out to Ostrox. I'm not sure if this is a sleeper champion or not, but he's very good. The other Void champion. His pass is really strong. Has a chance of reflecting the debuffs back to the attacker. Really nice. A3 removes random debuffs, increase accuracy for 2 turns. The A3 is really nice. Since he's Void, he won't weak he won't weak hit, and he places block buffs up to 3 turns, depending on the situation, which is really strong. 3-turn cooldown, 3-turn block buffs for Hydra is like insane. And then the A1 does some healing. Very strong, good champion.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know if there's really any sleepers necessarily left, but Husk is insane for Hydra, even still. A1 Provoke, obviously not 100%, but can be useful. AoE on the A2 is enemy max HP, so definitely can bring the deeps, especially against the higher tiers. And you can just turn that A3 off, so he's just A1ing and hoping to get that Provoke off. But all around, excellent epic. I actually built 3 of them.
Me too.
Damn.
Yeah, because at one point you need Hydra was tough early on, bro.
One every Hydra team.
Yeah, Hydra was fucking
Hydra
crazy.
was tough early on, so I have 3 of them.
I got
All
3
right.
Shamals, dude.
Mine is Dark Elhane. Man, you guys forget that Torment and Hilvi are a thing, and she cannot be frozen. Curse City comes in clutch. Grim Forest comes in absolutely clutch. Really strong if you're trying to do like the low stages of turns for Ice Golem, right? She can come in and just pretty much take it out in 4 turns, stage 10, get you those easy points. I love Dark Elhane. If I get another 6-star soul, I'm definitely building another one. She is just one of my favorite champs.
Ain't nobody sleeping on Dark Elhane.
All right, let's go to Dark Elves chat. Here we go. Is it going to be the one that I'm thinking? Let's see. Gestal, what do you got?
Dark Elves. Man, I'm gonna go with Loria. Loria's got a AoE freeze and block revive, and it actually hits really hard. I don't use her. I haven't used her in a long time, but she's definitely a great champ. If you get her early on, she could be used in obviously in the freeze way, CC, or you can actually use her as a nuker. Definitely a great champ.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
I think there's quite a few decent champions here. I think Loria is an amazing champion, like Gestal said. We're gonna do another damage. We're gonna go Delver. Actually, I use her for some Curse City stuff. I really like her A3. It's an AOE. She puts increased attack on herself before attacking, which is really nice. And then she has a chance of placing decreased defense on the target before attacking as well. So you can, it's like really strong. Increase attack before attacking, decrease defense before you hit. Get the benefit of both. And yeah, use a Curse City. She can hit pretty well. Has a heal reduction in A1 if you need that. A2 is a single target. Does some pretty good damage. So don't sleep.
Okay. Zero, what you got for me?
Basically Gwyneth's booty. I don't know about her kid, but yeah. I mean, one of the there's nobody's sleeping on Madame Suri, but I think Madame Suri is just that good of an epic. Whenever I get an opportunity to use her, just because she can remove all the buffs is absolutely insane. Nobody's sleeping on her. But the decreased defense as well, and the decreased attack, like she's still like one of the OP, top tier epics in the game.
Okay. Yeah, I remember she used to be like a must-have early on, or back in the day, I should say. Back in my day, when Raid Shadow Legends was in its infancy, she was one of the most sought-out decreased defense champions because she could strip before Stone Skin was a thing. King, what you got for me?
Yeah, dude, a classic, an oldie but a goodie, dude. I'm gonna go with Sylar, specifically in a stun set. She just has AoE on all her abilities, so it just brings added CC potential to Faction Wars, Curse City, any wave content Decreased speed on the A3, decreased accuracy on the A2, decent multipliers for damage, brings in 22% speed for faction if you're early on, but yeah, stun set is super solid on her.
What are you talking about early on? I still use her primarily.
I'm not saying
for the faction
that
wars
I
and
don't
the
use
hard
her
mode.
still. I don't say that
Trying
I
to-
don't
trying
say
to
I'm
build
not
a
using
champion
her.
at 325 speed plus and having enough.
She also got big gajugas, dude.
Yeah. The curse, what you got, man?
Fang Cleric
Bang cleric.
Bang
I knew you were gonna
Okay.
say that. That's why I didn't. I knew it.
revives a dead ally with puts unkillable on him with continuous heals. His A2 is a big heal as well and places a veil on the target that it heals. He has helped me quite a bit in hard faction wars, and I've used him quite a few times in Grim Forest as a reviver.
All right. For me, I'm gonna go with Caden because Caden, man, hard mode stage 21 for the first time I beat it. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for having him as a reviver with the decreased attack, it was not gonna happen, man. I absolutely love this guy, bringing in the increased defense too. Although for the boss itself, if you don't have enough of resistance, it will become a decreased defense. But my strategy was let 2 of the champions die 3 mana, and then right before I get to kill the boss, hopefully he can revive and 3-star, which is what happened. But Caden for me was an absolute massive. Also, really helped out with, I believe it was S19 hard mode faction wars. I paired him with, I believe it was Tyrell, who, if there's a decreased attack on, will place a stun on the Tauruses. So that was an absolute massive help there. All right, we're almost there, guys. Let's go to Night
Quick honorable mention to Spider. He has
Yes.
AoE decreased defense and weaken. He has 25% all speed in dungeons, so he can help you guys get the waves down really quick and get through speedy. And that's all. I mean, the rest of his kit's good too, but we're running out of time.
Yeah. All right, Night Revs. Lots of solid epics here, and let's see. Let's start off from Zero Brew first.
Yeah, so for this one, I mean, there's a bunch in here, but I think one that's probably slept on today, that I'm just going to go back to is Doom Priest. You don't have to book her, which is insane. And maybe people aren't sleeping on her. I don't know. But the fact that she gets the cleanse and the healing of the allies is absolutely insane. And she brings an increased attack buff on your allies. And again, without it being booked, you can do it. But to be honest, she only takes 5 books, so you could book her. I've never booked her. You don't really need to.
Right.
But that's what I'm going to go with.
All right. King, what about you?
Anybody who's used this champion knows, man. Miscreated Monster, dude. People are sleeping on Miscreated Monster. They need to wake up and smell the fucking coffee because he's got a stun on the A1 with a decreased defense. It's a single target, but he has an AoE stun and he puts a shield on himself for 25% of the damage that he inflicts. His damage is based on HP, so you can just build him super tanky. He also brings ally protection and continuous heal. This guy is a freaking demon for Spider CC. To speed up your runs, you just AoE stun all the Spiderlings. They don't have any animations, and you can just burn them into oblivion. I use them in Curse City. I use them anywhere that I can, dude.
Yep.
Miscreated Monster is a G, dude.
100% crit rate, definitely. All right. Decurst, what you got for me?
Dawn Caller Sabbatha.
Dawn Caller
say that.
Sabbatha. Okay.
Damn you.
All right, tell me why.
Yeah. Well, her A3 revives an ally, 25% HP, 100% turn meter, puts a block damage on him for 2 turns, which pairs with her passive. Whenever this champion revives an ally, decreases the cooldown of one of this champion's skills by a turn.
Okay.
And then you get off into her A2, places an increased defense, increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Her A1 heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% of this champion's max HP. So as King's pointed out multiple times, you can just stack her with, HP. So it's quite a, decent heal to it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pretty solid right there. Definitely have not built one out. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I was also gonna say Sabbatha. There's a ton of really good epics in this faction. I'm trying to think of some sleeper ones. I'm not sure if Malekith is counted as a sleeper. I might say Malekith, another reviver. Epic Reviver A3 is a revive 2 random allies with 3% HP, 3% turn meter, does a shield. The A1 lowers the decrease of enemy buffs, increases duration of your buffs, which is pretty nice. Or sorry, that was the A2, not the A1, the A2. And then the A1 has a chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target that attacks. He's solid. Good champion if you need a reviver.
Okay. And Gestal, what about you?
Man, there's actually a ton of crazy good ones in here. I was gonna go with Miscreated Monster because that was one of my favorite champs and kind of got me most into the game early on. And he was my first epic I pulled. So thank you, Kinkopian, for taking him. But definitely a great champ.
Anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. No, but I'm gonna go with another oldie but goodie. Sepulture Sentinel. She's got the increased defense, block debuff, and again the A1 decreased attack. Insane for clan boss. If you get her early, build her and use her for clan boss. She will help out tremendously.
Do not forget, has a 50% chance of completely blocking incoming damage on an ally when it's attacked. That used to be massive for the stun targeting in clan boss. So, and all battles defense aura, massive champion right there. Mine's gonna go for Golden Reaper, man. I have people go in live arena and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna pick my Arbiter. I ban their Arbiter, and then I sleep on, oh shit, they got a Golden Reaper, right? A3 places an increased speed, turn meter 20% on a 3-turn cooldown, attacks all allies, has a 50% chance of placing a decreased attack for 2 turns, decreases the turn meter of each target that is not under decreased attack, so you don't build her with accuracy, and then attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of 1 random ally skills. I looked at her and I was like, oh crap, why are these people bringing her in here? So massive call out, but there are some other great champions that you can definitely bring in as well too. Rector Draft is a great call out. Thalesia, massive decreased defense. Whisper,
bro. Whisper's insane.
Dude, I call Silesia Thymoria, dude. Thymoria.
Thylesia is insane, bro. This is one of the best epic. One of the best epic.
Faceless.
Yeah, this is one of the best epic groups, bro. This is a crazy group.
All right. We're getting there. 3 factions left. Dwarfs. Oh man, I have a lot of favorites. I have a lot of favorite epics here. But let's go ahead and let's start with King Copium first. King, what you got for me?
Dude, hell yeah. First favorite faction, first choice. I'm going to go with Melga, dude. I don't think that people really give her the value that she has. She has a revive random 2 allies with 20% HP and 20% turn meter. Also shields them. So it's not really the best, but early on, and even if you don't have a better reviver, she comes through solid. She also brings continuous heal, another shield on the A2. She has a chance of removing 1 random debuff from a random ally, but she cannot remove debuffs from herself. But she has ally HP by 15% in all battles. So she has a really quick drop-off, in my opinion, but early on, she's an extremely strong champion that people should not sleep on.
I still use her for my hard mode faction wars over Hilvy because she has more support than Hilvy does because she'll revive, she'll keep you alive. So I think, for hard mode faction wars at least, I think she's better than Hilvy. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, speaking of sleepers, we go with the sleeper, Conehead, aka Cornelia.
Oh, really? You took mine.
Yeah, she's so good. I mean, first of all, the Conehead, it is what it is. If you're old like me, you remember that from SNL, the whole skit.
Snake.
But yeah, the fact that she can, sleeps out, but then she sleeps. She basically puts a sleep on an ally, and if that ally takes damage, she basically fully heals them almost. So it's like, she's really good, and when you need that support, like she really fits in that slot. Right. And of course, obviously, Geomancer, best epic in the game.
Let's not forget she places asleep. So for what's it called?
Sand Devil.
Sand Devil. She's really good, right? DeCurse, what you got for me?
Bear Doll. I think Beardall is fantastic for early game. You got heal reduction on the A1 2 turns, which is at a 60% when fully booked, which is pretty decent. The A2 puts a shield and decreased defense. He puts a counterattack on himself off of his passive at the end of every turn. So yeah, he's a pretty good champion there.
Okay. Okay. PJ, what you got for me?
Yeah, I was say Cornelia. I'm just gonna throw a little bit more on her. I actually use her in Sand Devils. Like you said, she places the sleep. So even though she's bad affinity for 25, unless it's 3%, she'll never miss it. You won't
Right.
weak it. So yeah, a lot of people use what's the one of the legendary chick, Adelin for sleep, and it's like, why are you gonna use legendary books and book Adelin when you can just use Cornelia and it's way cheaper and easier to build? So big shout out to Cornelia. I'm gonna say Rockbreaker though. I love Rockbreaker. Does the provoke on the A2, books under a 3-turn cooldown, does the counterattack on himself. Really good for Curse City. Has a chance of reducing the damage on his passive. He's really, really solid.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Well, I was gonna take Rockbreaker, but the other one I was gonna say, old school was Grizzle Jarl. You get the AOE block debuffs and increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown. That's kind of crazy. And then the decreased attack. I don't know why I keep bringing that up, but early on it is huge, especially against clan boss. So. This champ can be used against the clan boss early on. Great champ. Also great for faction wars, other places.
Right on. All right. Now I would say Morag for me, but I'm actually going with Fobdor, man, because Fobdor has got a decreased defense on the whole team, which this faction lacked for quite a while. We get a stun, and then we get a heal reduction on the A1. Definitely pretty massive for the faction if you need that decreased defense to try to boost out. But Morag is great. Shout out to Sheeny, who brought Gala long braids back into it when Ultimate Death Knight was a thing, right? This faction is definitely pretty solid on epics. Rearguard Sergeant, one of the most sought after epics back in the day for faction wars. Definitely needed her. All right. Shadowkin. All right, this probably has to have some of the best aesthetics of the champions, but do they have really good epics? Chat, which one do you call out as one of your favorites? That's a must build. Let me know if I should build another one or build one in general. Let's start off with PJ first. PJ, what you got?
All right, I'm going with Hutatsu. I'm a big fan of Hutatsu, especially if you can get a 6-star blessing. Obviously, 6-star blessing makes most champions really good, but he can hit really hard. He also brings some heals and increased defense on the A3. Yeah, he's a little bit of a reader. A2 decrease, or all enemies decrease attack, and then A1 does a leech. Passive, he can kind of remove some CC off of him, and yeah, can hit as well. Like I said, hits hard and does some sustainability. Big fan of Hutatsu.
Very distracting face.
I built him as a support. Was definitely very helpful for Curse City. Gestal, what you got for me?
Actually, well, this is one of the factions I like the way the epics look, but I don't really like a lot of these epics. One that is really there are a couple that are good. One I do really like is Toragi. He's got the provoke, AoE provoke, also ally protect, shield, and has reflect damage. And then when attacks has a 50% chance of placing a poison debuff on attackers for 2 turns. So good in a lot of areas. Great champ to get early on. So
okay,
that's what I'm going with. Plus, it looks crazy.
He does. He looks. I don't want to meet him in real life
what?
if that was real. It's kind of scary.
Like, what the hell, bro?
Zero, what you got for me, bro?
I mean, she's not a sleeper, but KNIGHTS, she's the only real reviver that the faction has.
No, I'm
Bro,
joking.
I mean,
she is so good.
Yeah, she's not. I mean, she's not a sleeper, so I don't want to pick her. But I feel like yeah, you almost have to use her. But
Right.
I will say for me personally, like Shadowcan was one of my worst. I started after Ninja. Now we have Ninja and stuff, but like my legendaries really sucked in Shadowcan, so I had to lean very heavily on my epics. In fact, I think at one point in time that was the last faction I had to beat. I was using Taragi, Birangiri, Kenagashi, Genbo, if you will, in that team, and maybe Michinaki because that was the only good legendary I had. But all that being said, I'll shut up. Birangiri, especially pair with Taragi, the two of them are really good support champions. But Birangiri brings that stun and provoke to help control the waves, especially in stuff like Faction War. So Birangiri is mine.
Okay.
And I think you can solo one of the tower. I've never
Dungeon
done that. But
Bommel.
Bommel, yeah, you can
Yeah.
solo Bommel with a Birangiri too.
Cook.
So special shout out to that. I've never done it, but apparently you can.
All right. King, what you got?
Gembo the Dishonored, bro. Probably my favorite epic nuker in the entire game. You only have to give him 70% crit rate because he self-buffs himself on the A3, increases his own crit rate and his own crit damage, gives himself an extra turn. If you make him crit capped by using that ability, then he books up to a 100% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. It cannot be resisted on critical hits. So you can get through unkillables with this champion just by having him crit capped. He smacks hard as fuck. And his first ability steals any increase attack, puts it on himself, and also has a chance to seal a random debuff. The increase attack buff seal can't be resisted. His passive, he's immune to decrease attack debuffs. He will ignore unkillable buffs when attacking under an increase attack. So literally this guy fucking nukes, dude. Like, I just think that this guy carried me to gold early on. Like, he carried me.
And I have to just jump in. Leo, the OG Leo, was my very first legendary who carried my champion, and his passive gives an unkillable. And I would just and he does double damage when he's down at 1% life, right? Gimbo was the one champion in arena back in the day when I first started playing, would scare me and I couldn't fight him. So an epic would just nuke one of the best at the time legendary champions. So yeah.
And he's also a badass because he cut his own wings off. So, he's not like Ninja that just kept one on. The Cursed, what you got for me, man? Are you gonna pick my guy finally?
Gory?
No. Okay.
Okay, well, we got Gory. I like Gory. I was my chat had told me about him. We put some time into him, looked at him, still finishing building him. But he does counterattack, increase attack on his A3. Not too bad. Then you have freeze on his A2, which is on a 3-turn cooldown for 1-turn freeze debuff. His A1 places an extra hit if the person's under freeze, plus it heals by 10% of the damage inflicted, which is nice because then you can build him to do damage. So yeah, Gory.
Okay. Mine's actually going to be Fenji, man. Decrease speed on the A1, 3-hitter on the A2, and then we get some poisons on. I used him in Cursed City, and if it wasn't for him landing that decreased speed on the A1, pairing him with like Lady Mikage, it was so hard to take down the Fire Knight in Cursed City. I was like, it was just, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
You got
At
the Tron
40%,
blades, dude.
Yeah, and he looks pretty badass too. I'm not gonna lie. All right.
Shredder wishes he looked that cool, dude.
Last faction, man. This one's got a lot of good epics, but which one is going to be your best one? Let's start off with Gestal.
This dude's got a kind of a special place in my heart. My man Orn, he was part of the fusion when I started my free-to-play account, so I was actually able to scoop him up like right away. He is insane for clan boss, poison sensitivity and a poison on the A3, additional poisons on the A1, and gets bonus stuff with the passive on the poisons, and then instantly activates on the A2. So I really like him. He looks cool, and a great poisoner is a great way to start an account off. So shout out to my man Orn there.
Definitely agree. God mode for Dragon, early and hard mode.
Yeah.
PJ, what you got?
All right, so for my sleeper, I'm going with Diana, Dirty Diana.
Oh, you son of a gun, you.
Sorry, Dirty Diana.
It's all right.
Diana.
Okay.
I like her a lot. She's a nuker. She hits hard. She's void. I'm a big fan of champions putting buffs on themselves before attacking. I think that's a huge advantage. So her A3, it's a AoE before attacking, places increase crit damage on this champion for 2 turns. The attack kills an enemy, places Veil on her for 1 turn. The A2 is a little ally attack, team up 2 random allies. And then the A1 has a chance of doing decreased defense. The passive, this champion will ignore shield, strength, and buff, and they're under increased attack, veil, or a perfect veil. So you have 3 different options to ignore a shield, strengthen, which isn't crazy, but for PvE stuff, it's pretty strong. So yeah, big fan. She's a solid champion.
Damn, I just got her +4, so definitely will build her out.
Mhm.
Zero, what you got?
Yeah, this one's not a sleeper at all, but I'm gonna use this one because I built 2 of them. He's so good as Dithey. He's just
you.
absolutely absurdly good.
What
And
a
one
sleeper.
of them, yeah, he's not a sleeper, not a sleeper at all.
This guy's
But
wide
he's,
awake,
He's just
all
that
right?
good. I gotta call him out on this last faction. And he is well, if you don't know what he does, he's got his own increase attack and accuracy for 3 turns and then grants an extra turn. The A2 is an AoE and it smacks, but also brings a decreased defense. So it can really set up the rest of the team to do some damage. And then the A1 also hits really hard, removes a buff, and then a 10% chance. Well, of course, when booked, goes up to 20% chance of granting an extra turn. So I will run 2 Dithys, and these dudes can just go off, and one of them is a Relentless. That one in Relentless, if it, procs the A1 a couple times, and I've actually cycled through all 3 of his skills twice in one turn with a Dithy with Relentless. It's absolutely absurd. He's so good.
Now put a perch shadow on him and watch him go.
Oh
He
yeah.
just takes turn after turn after turn after turn. All right, King, what you got for me?
Good point. Let me do that now.
Honestly, dude, I know that I'm breaking the rules, but it's the last faction, and we're almost done, so I don't care, dude. I'm gonna pick Tree Shield, not the rare. I think he's an epic champion. I think that they messed up by giving him the rare. He has an ally fucking all heal, 15% of their max HP, also throws an increased defense. He's got a 2 random ally revive with 25% HP and turn meter. Also places a shield on them to 20% of their max HP. He throws decreased attack on a 3-hitter A1. He also brings 15% speed in faction crypts. Not is a fucking savage, and he's an epic champion, and I don't care. I'm colorblind anyway, so get out of my life.
Definitely a massive call out, especially for an all rare team for Siege if you need one. All right,
Breaking rules.
Decursed, what you got, man?
Arwood quiver grass. I am a big fan of strippers, and she is a stripper.
Hey, yo, what?
Quiver.
Right, top right.
Top right. Okay, Quivergrass. All right.
Yeah, I am a big fan of her. I'm a big fan of her A2. It's, goes up to 100% chance to steal one or, remove a buff from, the enemies. That's a big, big thing when I was early using her.
I bet she makes the curse
stance.
grass quiver, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey,
boy.
That's the Arwood part, But yeah, I think she looks great. I like her kit that she has going on with her. Like, she gets increased accuracy if she has no active debuffs. She goes through unkillable if she has no active debuff. So you build her with just, I built her with resistance and defense when I built her to begin with. So yeah, she worked.
Okay. All right. Mine may not be a sleeper, but Dudan the Runic man, the cleanse on the A1, 60% chance of removing 1 random debuff from all allies is massive. The shield that you get places a 15% shield on this champion, increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. And then the provoke or the taunt, strengthen, and counterattack is absolutely massive for Curse City. The stage with the Taurus Marichka, man, he could just keep going day after day after day and just cleansing everything that he puts out. So, yeah, Lots of epics, lots of good callouts. I did record this, so we'll snip it. We'll put it on YouTube. Hopefully, some of the people that want to watch it can and don't have to watch all the beginning stuff. But before we do let go, we have two things that we need to talk about, which is Plat Arena Reset, which we're all late for. And they're going to be redoing a couple of reworks, right? So we're going to talk about the sets right now, which is Swift Parry is getting a rebalance. And so is Deflection, right? So let's go through the sets real quick. We're going to get a 9-piece set. The ring, amulet, and banner are only going to come from Plat Arena, unless they decide to do something else. So Plat Arena is now going to be a little more emphasized, but let's break down the set. Swift Parry. 1 piece gives you 15% crit damage. 2 pieces give you 8% speed. 3 pieces give you 15% crit damage. 4 piece gives you a 10% speed, 50% chance of an unkillable when receiving a fatal damage hit from any source. 5 piece gives you 10% HP. 6 piece, enemy single target attacks deal 15% less damage to the owner, so we get a damage reduction. 7 piece gives you 15% HP. 8 piece gives you plus 10 speed, and then 9 piece, 50% ignore defense, which is the most in the game. Absolutely insane. Imagine carnage now. What kind of nightmares are you going to have? Let's start off with Gestal first. What are we thinking?
Yeah. So the only way to get these accessories is gonna right now is through
Finishing Plat.
Yeah. Finishing in Plat, and that's 500 a week that people are gonna get a couple accessories.
Yeah, crypto's gonna be out here fucking.
To me that annoys me a little bit. I don't know. Like I don't mind Plat. I don't mind doing it, but I think a lot of people don't like doing it, and this is the only way to get it. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have other ways to do it. I just feel like that's a little. It feels to me like it's gonna be impossible to get 3 accessories. That's how it feels like to me. Like how many months is it gonna take to get a good set? I don't know. I feel like it's gonna take forever. So all that aside, if you could get a 9-piece, crazy, right? Because the 4-piece is already insane. The 6-piece, I don't think would really be worth it. But if you can get to a 9-piece and get that 50% defense ignore and have that chance, getting the unkillable, crazy. I think it's great. I just don't feel like I'm ever gonna have a set because I don't have Mercurial right now. And how long we're doing that for 3 months?
Right.
So I don't know. That's just my frustration with it.
I hope that they, I think Armenian God had the right idea where, the chest that you get from getting, the 1,000 coins for your Great Hall, they should put those in there as well too. So Plarium, if you're watching, take that suggestion.
I've only got about 120 of those saved up, so let's do that.
I think those would be absolutely massive. King, what do you think about Swift Parry, man?
I think it's a super dope rework, except for the fact that I'm not going to be able to get any 9-piece sets rolling. I think, personally, I've been saying this for a while now. If it's a craftable 9-piece set, then we should be able to craft the accessories as well. We should have a chance to craft those accessories in the Forge. That goes for Slayer. That goes for now these sets. I just think that it's bullshit that I should have to buy like a Forge pass to get accessories, and it's so rare, like Gestal said, to get good ones. It's just kind of, we need more options to get these 9-piece sets. They make these sets incredibly powerful, and everybody deserves a chance to get them. We don't want guaranteed perfect rolls or whatever. Of course we do, but it's not guaranteed. But everybody should have a fucking chance at getting that, man. And I do think that limiting it to just Platinum Arena finish is pretty cruel. And I think that even putting it in that chest, if you finish your Great Hall, while that's not perfect either, it does open up to the people who would primarily be the ones that would use this set anyway. I mean, it's a PvP set. It's always been a PvP set. Yeah, it has some PvE use, but it's a PvP set. So get over it.
All right. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I think with a move like this, maybe they're setting up some way to like start crafting um, accessories or whatever in the game. Yeah, I agree with what everybody just said in terms of how hard it's going to be. I do think it's time to almost like get away with faction specific relics as well or accessories. That is getting ridiculous. Someone mentioned at some point maybe do the different the 4 unities or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We got the what they call the packs or whatever. Galian Pack, Telerian League, like make it easier where maybe you can spread it across 4 factions versus one specific faction. And then really just having room to hold on to all these different things. Like we've now spread it into these 9-piece whatevers, and like the infinite combinations are absolutely absurd. So
Dude, sorting artifacts is absolute dog shit for
it's
gear
so
cleansing.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, again, if they did this and they make it easier to craft these things, and they make, I don't know, they make some major changes to this so they're not faction specific, maybe it gets better, but
Okay.
one can hope.
PJ, what about you?
As far as the set,
Yeah.
I think it's good. Honestly, I think the 6-piece is crap. I don't think that's really that good. And then I think the 9-piece, I mean, yeah, it's good, 50% ignore defense, but I feel like it's almost overkill. At least right now, like I don't think we really need that. Like we already ignore so much defense from so many other things in the game. We have relics, we have masteries, moves on champions ignore defense. We have other gear sets that ignore 25, 30%. Plus, if you use other gear, you can go up to like 35 maybe. So like, I'm not too worried about the 9-piece. I think it could be honestly really good in PvE.
True.
But I feel like for PvP, like it almost is, at least right now, even for PvE, I feel like it might be overkill right now. Like in the future, maybe they're gonna have like really, really hard bosses where they have crazy defense where we need the 50%. But yeah, I think the 4-piece is still going to be really, really good. I like that it's going to be accessories now because you can kind of like mix and match a little bit more. It's going to be hard to get the accessories.
Just
But
imagine you're
yeah, I think
Titus now.
Titus,
Just Titus 50.
he already can. I already have like if you have a 6-star crushing rend, like you're already ignoring 100%.
Who's got a 6-star crushing rend? I don't.
Me,
I do.
Yeah, like what do you?
Yeah, but who has a Titus team though, Curse?
So like, yeah, I don't like. I think for PvE it could be good, but for PvP, I don't like. At least right now, I'm not like everyone's like, oh my god, this set's gonna be really, really good. I don't really see it that. No, I think the other set's a lot better.
Okay. DeCurse, what do you got to say about Swift Parry, man?
I mean, the new way it is, less than 1% of the top 1% will be the only people to ever have a 9-piece accessory kit for Swift Parry.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Fair point.
Short
Listen,
and sweet and to the point.
What I will say is, we're getting a bunch of extra stat boosts for 1-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece. That's absolutely massive. It helps out. I like that they move that way, because if you really just need to use just 1 piece or 2 pieces in offset, it's gonna be really, really good for your accounts. The 6-piece set definitely needs some work, because it's not a save me CC set other than the unkillable, which I think they should have just done it guaranteed unkillable, not block 15% or decrease the damage. I think that would have been much better, to be quite honest. All right, deflection is the next set that's getting a rework. And set bonuses are as follows. 1-piece gets 20 accuracy, 2-piece gets 10% speed, 3-piece gets 20% speed, 4-piece 35% chance to deflect 1 debuff onto the attacker, block debuffs for 1 turn on the round to start, which is actually pretty massive. 5-piece is 10% speed. The 6-piece is wears deals bonus damage proportional to owns accuracy 10 for every 10 accuracy to the enemies that block debuffs. To enemies that block debuffs from the wearer. Occurs once per skill. This damage can remove total guard stacks, right? The 7-piece is 20 accuracy. 8-piece is 12% speed, and then 9-piece enemies ignore 10% less defense for each active buff placed by owner by 5%. for bosses. The 9-piece I'm not a real big fan of, but what do you guys have to say? I definitely feel like Guardian is saying in chat right now, I don't think it's Pinpoint 2.0, right? So why farm Pinpoint instead? Gestal, what do you think?
It's interesting. It certainly makes it a little bit more. It makes it much more interesting. This set started to see a bit of a resurgence because of Polymorph, but didn't really stick around because I don't know. You're really gonna build this over Swift Parry? Before. Now it's definitely better. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just I just feel like I'm never gonna have it, but.
Right.
Yeah, I like it. I definitely like it.
1, 2, and 3-piece sets are going to be great. I think much more than that. I don't know. Maybe a 4-piece or no, not even, to be honest. The block debuffs does come in kind of nice for one turn, at least. PJ, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I think this set is really good now. I think it's like a Feral 2.0 more than like a Pinpoint. I really like the 9-piece. I don't think is that crazy good. Like, it's decent, but I don't think people have to worry about it. I think it's all about the 6 and the 4-piece. The 6-piece is what I'm really liking. This is a direct counter to Mercurial, which I'm surprised as they already put into the game so soon. I thought they were going to milk us a little bit more, but this is really strong for debuffers, especially for debuffers that are hitting. For example, I know Edward could be really nice in this. Edward's A2. So Edward's A2 is a double hitter and then also has a chance of placing the sleep. So with this, he would be able to remove all 3 stacks of Mercurial on one hit or on like one move, which is, I think, extremely strong. It's not going to do a lot of damage. Like, it's not like a damaging thing, but it's just a little bit of chip damage to get that Mercurial off. Yeah, I think the 6-piece is very strong. I think the 4-piece is strong as well. I like this set a lot now.
Okay. Zero, what you got to do? What you got to say?
This gear set exists.
Okay, fair. King, what about you?
I think it's just another way for Plarium to fuck us out of doing good event dungeons.
Okay. All right, fair point. Decursed?
Again, you might see a couple people using 3-piece set of it, maybe a 4th piece here and there, but I don't see anybody going beyond 4 pieces.
Okay.
You might get a random 6 here and there every blue moon, but I don't see it.
Chronophage is dog shit.
Yes.
True. Well, guys, don't worry. I have some news for you. Plarium's announcing a Forge Pass tier version, Diamond, which is going to be for $100.
No.
Wait, am I crazy? Do we not like this set? Am I the only one that likes this set?
I like it.
I like it.
I like it for Carnage. I like it for Carnage.
I like the set, dude. Like, it's I
just don't feel like I'm ever gonna have either of them. I just don't get hyped over it.
But I don't think you need the 9-piece for either. That's the thing. I think there's for
but you're gonna want to mix it, like, right? You're gonna want the accessories.
But the other
sets, the accessories to these.
The other gear we're using have 9-piece for.
But
the problem is, dude, is it costs 50. It costs 50 Magisteel to craft 1 piece of this.
Yeah, for sure.
And that has been brought up to them. The response that we've got is the team is looking into it. So I don't know what that will mean or won't mean, but
it don't mean shit. It's Plarium's team.
I don't know. I'm just shocked that they're introducing like a direct Mercurial counter this early. Is that not like surprising anyone else?
No. I think they learned their lesson from Stone Skin. They waited way too long to start bringing out counters to Stone Skin. And I'm glad to see that there's going to be a chance. The thing that bums me out is how many people have sold these old sets, and they're just because we don't have the artifact slots that we need. So I don't know about, I can't speak for you guys, but Swift Parry reworks weren't high up on my priority list.
Right.
So it just kind of sucks.
Right. I agree.
But again, that just comes down to you never know what Plarium's going to do, so make your decisions very carefully. And if you end up getting punished for bad decisions, you better hope you're in the Supreme Club, right, Zero Brew?
That's right.
All right. Speaking about Zero Brew, hey, Zero, where can people come and find you?
Come hang out with us every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Although my weeks have been getting slightly adjusted, but that's where I'm at. Twitches and the YouTubes is.
Awesome. PJ, what about you?
Next, PJE, Twitch, YouTube. Usually stream twice a day on Twitch. Come say what's up.
Awesome. Gestal, what about you?
Gestal Gaming. I stream on Twitch and sometimes on YouTube. Trying to get back onto the YouTubes. 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, Sunday through Friday.
Awesome. King, what about you?
Twitch King_Copium and YouTube King_Copium RSL.
Awesome. The Curse, what about you?
You can find me on the Twitchies at the Cursed One. And yeah, we're here 5 days a week.
Awesome. I know we ran the podcast a little bit late today, guys. Thank you all for sticking around. Let's do some shout outs and let's start with Gestal first.
Well, we are going to shout out my man here, Bazzy HQ. He rated me a couple of weeks ago, and nice guy over there in Germany. I've rated him a couple times now. We've been going back and forth. Super cool guy. BAZZIHQ. Give him a follow.
Awesome. PJ, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
We're giving a shout out to Sir Zipper playing the Raid Shadow Legends as well. Gonna give him a shout on the link. Yeah, if you guys not following him, hit that heart on the screen. Good dude. Does some count up, can't take over. Say him out to my follow.
Awesome. Zero, what you got for a shout out for me?
Mr. Pogo Pingta. He is the man, the myth, the legend, and streams every single day, even
Awesome.
through surgery. He has someone stream for him, so give him some love.
All right, King, what you got for me?
My shout out's going to go to Zero Brew, man, who has probably one of the most entertaining streams out here in the Twitch community for Raid Shadow Legends. I mean, the guy's got audio commands for days. It's always an absolute riot to be in there. I love lurking that chat. I sincerely love the Brew Crew. It is just an amazing environment to be in. Guys, go drop a follow. Make sure you guys catch a Zero Brew stream. It is just, I mean, we're talking peak entertainment. Go check it out.
I'm surprised
Awesome.
DB didn't say Polarium for his shout out.
Yeah, Plarium's Supreme
Polarium
Club for my
support.
shout
We
Tech
riot,
support.
bro. If you shout out Plario, we riot.
Tech support.
Zero, you got a little brown something right there. The Curse, what you got for a shout out for me?
We're gonna shout out my cousin. I am the Envy. He's a mid game player now. Fantastic pulls. Like, this dude's luck is insane. We started the I Hate Envy Club, and
We hate him
yeah,
for it.
give him a follow and check him out. Show him some love. You shouldn't be disappointed. Well, actually, you will be, because like, he don't have to do fusions, nothing. He's guaranteed he's gonna pull it, just random off the fucking hip shard, and we'll get
Awesome.
it. Yeah.
All right, and my shout out's going to go to the Curse. Thank you very much for coming in, filling in for our boy FinalKenpachi last minute. I appreciate you so much. Guys, wonderful time. Thank you again for hanging out with us for over 2 hours. Twitch, we're going to raid out to Sheeny, who's doing some live arena. So when we drop in, make sure you guys give him some hearts, give him some follows, show him some love. And I hope that you guys have a safe and warm weekend, or the rest of your weekend. If you're out in New England, be safe. Don't do anything dumb out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And we will see you guys next week. All right. Woo. We're done.
I have to pee so bad. Goodbye.
I'm about pissing
Have a
myself.
good one.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Are you still streaming? I think you're still streaming. Blazing, you might want to turn that off.
Is he still streaming?
Yeah. I don't think the raid went.
Hold on. I got to restart again. I'm pretty sure it did.
It went, but like, did it?